So what's up with Jet? Oh. I can't get hold of the camera, so I'm Jared up here. So I don't know about our dock interviews anyway. Yeah, why not? Okay, welcome back, folks. Quick lunch break here, couple of medal ceremonies. We're about to run women's jump finals, so exciting times. The towboat is just doing a couple of last phantom passes. Everything's set in readiness for women's jump. Be joined a little bit later on in expert comments by Jarrett Llewellyn, of course, former world jump record and champion holder, world record holder, of course, and world jump champion. The running order for the ladies, of course. We have Sadie Ferguson up first from Australia. Now, Sadie should have been up in fourth spot with her distance, with her seated order, but because she's off the 5-foot ramp, 1.5, she'll be first up. Then the ramp will go up to 1.65. We'll have Emma Brunel from France. Then we'll go to Brooke Baldwin of the USA. It's a bit of a who's who of world jumping, of course. Valentina Gonzalez from Chile. Maria Varmabrenitsov from Greece. Alexandra Danishevskaya from Belarus. Whitney McClintock from Canada. Taryn Grant from Canada. Brittany Greenwood from the USA. And then our top three. Hanna Straltsova from Belarus, Regina Jaquess of the United States, and Jacinta Carroll from Australia. We are going to be underway very shortly. At one stage we're going to start at 1:30. We're going to get underway any minute now because conditions, although not perfect, are not too bad right now. So the skiers and the judges decided that they wanted to go. So of course we had a couple of medal ceremonies. Joel Halley got his gold medal in men's slalom. Anna Gay got her gold medal in women's tricks. And we see that red tournament towboat head back, I think, back to the dock to pick up our first skier. So we're shots down at the dock there. We've got Sadie Ferguson, of course, putting her skis on. We've got her teammate, Jacinta Carroll, and coach as well on the dock with her. Jacinta will be up a little bit later on. Both judges jumping in the boat. Okay, so Sadie Ferguson from Australia. She's only 16 years of age, young junior. Jumped the personal best by a couple of metres to make into this final, 46.5. She went into this event, I think a PB was 44.6 or something like that. She's the only one in the final off the 1.5 metre jump. She is jumping at 54k, so she normally would jump at 51k, 5 foot. But she has put her speed up to 54. So I'm joined in commentary here by, of course, the great Jarrett Llewellyn. And Jarrett, look forward to this. This is jump finals time, world champs.
Yeah, crunch time. This is, I love this event. It's been building all day and so many things on the line here. And we got a lot of great jumping to see. And conditions have not switched around to what we were hoping. Still a little bit cross tails, just still holding. Maybe later in the day, sometimes being a higher seed might be better for you, but obviously yesterday when Jacinta jumped, that did not pay off. So we are an outdoor sport, and today conditions are okay, but not ideal.
No, that's unless if the wind's not going to turn around to a headwind, we need it to stop completely. Really, I think the skiers would be happy with take glass calm conditions. But it is a lot better. We had the women's jump, the continuation of women's jump yesterday afternoon, and unfortunately for our top couple of seeds there in the ladies jump, it got pretty strong from this direction.
And for viewers at home, why we like a headwind, get the lift under the skis. You're a lot more aggressive at the setup at the 5 and 6. It keeps the line tight, so you're willing to take extra speed into the turn. You're willing to hang it out, really go for it. It gives you that security. In a tailwind, you always back off. And if you back off at jumping at all, you're not going to get the big jump.
Absolutely. So Sadie Ferguson, of course, still a junior. She is the world junior jump champion now, of course. So she's a tough young girl. This bred out of Australia, following the footsteps, of course, of Jacinta Carroll and Emma Shears before her. Tidy opening jump. Just around the 41, 42 metre mark, I reckon, to start, but it's a good way to start.
Man, that's such a clean style. She just, I don't know, she's sitting back on her heels a little bit. She's running out of speed, a little reserved on the first jump. That's pretty typical here. But as far as style goes, you know, watch her, just solid as a rock through the wakes. Landing right on the right ski, driving in, staying square, pretty much milking everything that she had on that. She just got to get some more speed under her belt.
Yeah, and I think she will. She's just getting one on the board out there. .43 opening distance for Sadie Ferguson. Good shots from the start dock down there. Next competitor, Emma Brunel from France.
So again, Sadie only 16 years old. Like what a career this girl's going to have.
Unbelievable.
Just stay healthy, get the ropes, and she's going to ski in so many more world championships. So Australia's got one hot athlete on their hands. Personal best, 44.8 meters.
Actually, that was a personal best. She went 46.5 in the preliminary round. So she knew personal best.
Oh, yeah, sorry, mate. Yeah, that's right.
Here we go. Jump number 2 for Sadie. She splits the 600 football. Just trying to slow herself down a little bit. Maybe feels just a little bit late, but it looks pretty good to me. Into the ramp she goes. Up she goes. Big kick off the top. She's gone maybe another metre further, if I had to guess. A little further, I think, Jarrett.
Yeah, she looked like she thinks she was carrying a little bit of speed. Wind's pushing her a little bit. Sometimes when you bring it right here, she's dishing off a little bit of speed, hanging on her heels just a little bit, probably could be up on her toes a little bit better, allowing the skis to finish. Good drive through the wake. Good pressure into the bottom. No bobble through the wake. Coming off the left side a little bit. Typically, I'd like to see her maybe get a little wider, a little more aggressive off the 6, not bring it down, but she needs to get a little more width on the boat. She might be coming in hot, but she's a bit narrow. She needs to have a little more width so that she can get a little more angle. And actually a little more angle in adverse conditions is a little bit better. Anytime you're on your edge and driving, you're going to feel less of the wind and the rollers. When you flatten off, then you feel everything.
Absolutely. Actually, the breeze has dropped right off anyway. We're at the jump ramp anyway. It's dropped off, which is probably good news. We'd prefer to have a headwind. You never know, it might be dropping off for a wind change to head around to a headwind, hopefully. Still a little bit of a breeze, I think, down there where Sadie is at the moment, but it's good news if we can, if we can't get a headwind, Jared, if we can get no wind at all, would be great. We don't want to get a situation where that breeze got up yesterday when the Regina Jaquess and
yeah, let's see if she switches anything up here on the 6. Same spot. See if she pulls a little longer here just to get up on the boat, a little more width. Still running out of speed. Driving into the base.
That's bigger though, I think.
Good extension. Good extension. A little more wind under the front would definitely, she would have got another meter or so out of that. So
she won't go 46.5 today, but I think that could be 44, that jump of Sadie's. You see, she didn't shake off the speed this time. She was happy to be where she was, which, of course, the moment you do that snow play, of course, it makes you narrow, and you don't want that, really. So she's coming into the ramp, driving hard into the ramp. Pretty good extension off the top. Good lift.
Yeah, such a safe jumper and solid, and that's a key to being able to push the bar up each and every year. That if you don't have the confidence, it's really hard to attack that red thing out there. And your coach can keep telling you to bring it down, but if you're nervous, it's not going to happen. So now they're going to jack up the ramp here.
Yeah, the ramp goes up to 1.65. It'll stay there for the rest of the ladies' field.
So we were just talking about how critical is the countercut, the setup, being wide. You know, when you whip up on the boat, where you are on the boat. You want to be up on the boat, and when she was dusting off some speed, snow plowing, she was probably moving, coming into the turn, coming in a little bit hot, and she didn't like that. But sometimes getting a little wider, that gives her more time to slow down and make that turn. So it's kind of complicated on what you would do on an adjustment at the 600. Do you go harder off the 6 or go easy and pull on the second side? It depends on if you want more width or if you want to carry more speed, and that's what's going to be critical out here today.
Look at the two French coaches there geeing up their athlete. Emma Brunel now from France. She's about to be on course. They have such a strong program, the French, and they're right in there in that teams event. Of course, Jared as well, I think, currently sitting in close in behind in third, behind the USA and Canada.
They are. It is a really tight race. France. So the USA is at 8,226. Canada right behind them at 8,103. Only roughly 120 points. France at 8,049. So still a really tight race. Great Britain, 4th. Belarus, 5th. Czech and Australia. New Zealand down there holding at 11th.
We're holding on to 11th. Solid stuff from New Zealand. The French don't have a lot of jumpers, though, to be fair, so they haven't got a lot of opportunities to go up here, thinking about it. So they might be heading towards a finish of 3rd by the look of it, France. I guess Emma could change that. She was last into the final, of course, with a 44.9 metre jump.
Glenn, you did call it. The wind has backed off. It's trying to settle down. It's not blowing like it was, and maybe we're seeing the shift in the day. Would have been nice to maybe hold out a little bit longer, but lots of skiing to go, and we got to get through it.
Here we go now. This is jump number 1, Emma Brunel from France at 44.9. Her preliminary score. You see she's cutting a little bit later than Sadie did. Not a lot later, 1.5 meters maybe. Pulls out wide in the Nautique towboat. I think it looks pretty nice out there right now for jump. Good turn in, lets that one go. Possibly felt she was a little bit late. Normally when the skier passes up on crossing the wakes, it means that they're seeing that jump coming up way too quick.
Yeah, she passed pretty early, so she didn't like it right from the start. Pulled a little bit short off the 6. Did bring it down, like you said. Just running out of speed here. Leaning in a little bit, probably could stay over. Lost the line a little bit in the turn. Driving hard and just let go pretty early. Would have been nice to maybe hold on to that and get a really good look on the second side and still let go.
Yeah.
But
it's easy for me to say sitting up here, but it looked like once she let go that she still had a bit of time to make it to the ramp from the angle we had. Maybe just didn't want to have that later cut on her first. Just wants to get one on the board first.
Yeah, just didn't find her spot, and she just throw that away and make the adjustment. Maybe the wind's pushing her. Maybe she thought that the wind was a little bit flat and it pushed her more than she thought. She came into the turn running a little bit hot.
There we are, yeah. I was going to say Jarrett Llewellyn, Glenn Williams commentating. Got to spell my name right though.
I must say, it's been an honor to sit with you. You're such a trooper to hang out here all week and do the hours. Friday was just an incredible day. That's a lot of hours, mate.
Friday was big. Friday was over 11 hours without a break. Didn't leave this chair for 11 hours, and I was pretty tired Friday night. But
yeah, we'll have to get you a diaper or something.
Yeah,
That
could be next. We'll talk to the commentators union. She hasn't backed us up at all. This is still fairly late on the 600 football. Makes the turn. This looks better actually. More control in the turn. Big kick off the top. That's a nice jump actually. That's a really good jump. To me, I think that could be further than, she went 44.9 in the preliminary. That might actually be further than that. I think that could be up around 46 metres, Jarrett, on jump number 2.
Yeah, riding her left ski here, trying to swing it under, trying not to push on that right ski. Line a lot better that time, did not drop out on her. Good dig through the bottom here. I don't know if she holds on to the edge. Right ski's dropping back a little bit and not getting that total dig, and the ski chattering a little bit, losing a little bit of speed, but still got her legs off the top, so decent, definitely a better, getting one on the board.
46.6 is great jump. Emma Brunel from France. That's a really good effort, 46.6. Girls on the dock will be happy to see that. That gives them confidence that conditions are good out here.
Would like to see her keep her chest up through the wakes and try to get that right ski out in front of her on the second side so she gets a little more pressure into the bottom and she can really get her legs off the top on this one.
French team coaches there, just having a bit of a discussion there. It's great to see.
So easy from the shore though,
yeah,
isn't it?
It is,
Mate?
exactly.
Sitting up here in this tower in the AC.
Absolutely. I thought that was a great jump. Let's see if she can't get a little bit more, get a little closer to 50 metres.
Good snowplow, a little brought it down,
Yeah,
nice and wide here. Just gonna whip her up on the boat here, try to get as much width and try to time this nice subtle edge out. Get a good rip into the bottom, dig hard here. Pretty decent, kind of missed the kick, but definitely had some more speed on that one.
Yeah, she might have got herself another foot or two, It could end up being 47. We'll wait and see. To me, similar kind of hole. Great skiing though, Emma Brunel from France. She's finished. Her worlds are over, but she's increased. Well, I guess helped out the French team, of course. She's got an extra couple of metres here on her preliminary round. That helps out the French team, so well done to her. Done her job.
Yeah, you need everybody to put in the numbers on the team. Each and every one of them, they pick your teams, and usually you have one or two backups, but everybody's got to do their job to be able to pull off a medal at the World Championships against a lot of these great teams. Brooke Baldwin next.
Yeah, so she's currently sitting second in the overall, behind Whitney McClintock, Rini, and she's sitting about 80 points back from Whitney. So she could gain a little bit in this jump possibly. Current top three, Whitney McClintock, Rini is first, Brooke Baldwin in second, Regina Jaquess in third, of course, in this overall. Jacinta Carroll sitting back in fifth spot in the overall, but this is her event, Jacinta, so she'll be looking to get some good conditions, I'm sure, when she jumps, and try and get the biggest jump possible and really get herself up onto the podium in the overall. So Brooke from the USA, skiing 3 events, but as an independent, obviously didn't make herself available for the US. Either that or she wasn't selected. I don't know the story. You'd think if she was available, she would definitely be selected, because she's having a great tournament anyway.
I guess she's not old on her world profile. She's only 0 years old, so maybe she's just too young.
Yeah. And from Winter Garden in Florida. Parents got her into skiing, of course. Lake Huckleberry on Winter Garden. I haven't been there. Great name. Here she comes now, Brooke Baldwin, 3/4 cut. She's hanging out wide, had a 45.9 metre effort in the preliminary round. Just passes on that one, does Brooke.
Yeah, just having a feel, having a look at it, pulling out, seeing if conditions are what they are. It is a little difficult down when you're standing on the jump dock down there and you're standing in this little cove. The conditions look ideal and it's calm. But down at the far end, at the 500 and 600, you know, it's in the open water, and the wind can be pushing a little bit, and it's really hard to see down there. It would have been nice. Oh, it's funny, all around the site, everybody's tuning into the TVs and watching the replays and stuff. It would be nice to have a TV down on the dock for the athletes so that they can actually see what's going on. It's really critical. Like before I go and jump, I run down to the end of the lake and I always take a look at the 5 and 6 and just to get my head into it so it doesn't surprise me when I get out there. Here's Valentina standing on the dock, getting all fired up. Skied incredibly down at the Pan Am Games.
Hey. She's looking happy, which is great to see. Happy and relaxed, ready for the jump final.
She skied incredible down there, pulled a bronze.
Okay, here comes Brooke Baldwin, passed on a first. Second jump coming. Doing a 3/4 cut, of course not the full double. It worked pretty well for her in the preliminary round. She went 46 metres or 45.9, just a shade off 46 metres. Hangs out wide here. Good strong edge into the bottom of the ramp.
Oh.
Decent kick off the top, but probably just a little disappointing, I think. Just around that sort of 42-metre marker.
The way she came off the top of the ramp, she looked like she pre-kicked the ramp a little bit. We'll see what happens in this replay. Bouncing a little bit. She could soften up her knees a little bit, get rid of that bounce on her glide. Good dig here for a 3/4 cut. Digging. I wonder if she just stands up and locks the legs out, and that can be really dangerous. Ends up being a line drive. She pulls it out, but that's kind of what happened to Janina yesterday. Just came in and ended up standing up, and just ate her up. And so make sure that she stays down and makes that correction on the next jump.
42 metres, 42.0. Solid opening score, but she's got one last jump to go. She had, like I said, 45.9 in the prelim. She'd want to at least jump further than that here today. Of course, in the final. All our finals have 12 competitors. We're on jumper number 3.
Yeah, she's 45.9 in the preliminary round, so she's definitely going to have to, if she wants to gain on Whitney, she's got to better that score by quite a bit. So
absolutely. Yeah, she really needs to probably jump another 2 metres further. So she probably needs a 48 or even a 49-metre jump to take the lead in the overall. So it's a big ask, and it's come down to the third and final here for Brooke Baldwin. Makes her turn for the ramp. Flying into the jump ramp. Oh, another big upper body crush. It is a little further. It will be further. It's probably not going to be enough to increase her score from round 1 though.
Pretty similar setup here. Pushing that right leg out a little bit, gaining some speed here, a little stiff. Looks like she's leaning a little bit. Oh, just leaning on her left shoulder. Right ski just trailing and just not getting the distance that she wanted today to pick up on that overall score.
So we wait for the distance to come through. Good news about the conditions is it's staying pretty calm now. The flags are pretty quiet, dead set flags, actually a lot of the flags around the site. Valentina Gonzalez catches a bit of the dock carpet there. Chilean athlete. 43.9 for Brooke Baldwin. 43.9, so doesn't increase her overall score. She'll stay in second for now, will Brooke Baldwin. Valentina Gonzalez, of course, had a decent jump of 46.3 in the qualifying round, but she's capable of going over 50, and that'll be her aim here. This is her big event jump. She loves the jump. She'll be all pumped up, I'm sure.
Yeah, she is a 3-eventer. She's a strong 3-eventer. She just did not have a good showing in tricks here at the event, and skied well down at the under-21s, but definitely jump is her specialty. She is lets it hang out every single time she goes off the ramp. Strong little girl.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting just once again talking about the overall battle. Brooke Baldwin did not increase her score, so she's in second, but she's got Regina right behind her there. Regina is only 15, 16 overall points behind Brooke, so if Regina can go an extra half a metre on what she did, she's going to take over Brooke in that overall battle, so it's pretty tight.
Valentina, 20 years old, just still a youngster.
Here we
Santiago, Chile.
Yep, Santiago, Chile, Valentina Gonzalez.
That's a pretty aggressive start.
Decent pull out here. Let's see, she's looks calm and collective though. She's not worried about being too late. Into the ramp she goes, plenty of speed. Big kick off the top.
Nice.
Tidy opening jump. We'll watch the replay. Maybe didn't get quite everything off the jump ramp, but still going to be right up there in the mid-40s for an opening jump.
Yeah, watched her. She's a little deeper off the 600 and got a little more width. She pulled harder on the second side, so she was a little wider earlier, which gives her time out here to be able to turn her skis. Dropping in the hole a little bit there. A little tight in the arms, but good drive off the top. Pretty good float for no headwind. That was a nice opener.
Yeah, she heads down for a second jump, gets some advice from the shore. We did have the distance up there momentarily. I think it might have been 46.1. I only saw it for just a wee while. Yeah, it is 46.1 metres. Great opening jump from Valentina Gonzalez. She went 46.3 in the elimination round, so she's right in the same sort of hole. Started skiing at just 4 years of age, competing at 7 years of age. So another youngster that started nice and early.
Yeah, such a nice family. Everybody's here. The little brother's not here. He's a little ripper that's coming up through the sisters here. Everybody's here. The parents, just absolutely another great family down in Chile. Have their own lake, promoting the sport down there. Just another great family.
Okay, jump number 2 now. Let's see if she can't push up over 50 metres. Looks like a very good approach. I like that turn. Into the ramp she goes. She lets it go.
Yeah.
Disappointed. We'll have a look and get an idea of her timing here.
Yeah, trying to take a little more heat into the turn. You see her upper body's facing the ramp. She needs to keep that out. She's coming in a little bit hot. She needs to keep everything outside the line. Probably the place to be, but just not squaring up for the ramp and not being comfortable there at all. But believe she's in the right spot. She just needs to make sure that she drives out and gets a good rotation in the turn so that she can get that right ski under the line.
One jump to come. She is in second spot at the moment. Emma Brunel still leads with 46.6 metres.
That can be, that's a common mistake. You try to bring it down and push yourself a little bit, and on your glide, when you start looking over at the ramp, because you know it's coming up, the whole body rotates, and that affects your hips and how you're standing on your skis, and it actually hinders your turn. You gotta, when you're bringing it down and you're taking some heat into the turn, you gotta keep everything square. You're gonna need to keep everything out, and that's what she needs to make sure she does here.
Good conditions at the moment here at Putrajaya. Very little wind, or no wind at all really at the moment. Just goes around that 180 metre buoy. Nice and wide here. Needs to find her spot and take it. Into the ramp she goes, plenty of speed, big kick off the top. Didn't really get it together. Probably a little disappointing, I think, the set from Valentina Gonzalez. I think at first, actually, a 46.1 might be her best.
Yeah, I think the jump before, she was taking in more speed into the turn, which was a really good place to be. She's sitting back here a little bit, running out of speed. You can see the line is already starting to pick her up, and this is not where she's going to generate as much speed. Decent cut into the bottom, getting the hold of it. But the jump before might have scared her a little bit, coming in a bit hot. She tried to back off maybe a little bit, and the wind just didn't play right for her, and she just misjudged that last one.
Absolutely. So we're going to Greece now, and we've got Maria Varmabrenitsov. Are you good at that name?
No, that's a mouthful. That's
I struggle with
it. That's a struggle.
I wish I could. Desmond Kennedy was pretty good with the names. All credit to him. He probably practiced a bit more than me.
I know that Marie's taken she took a little bit of a break from skiing, got away from it, had an injury, and now back right at it. Won the Europeans, and back hot as ever.
She went 47.2 in the elimination round, so she had a pretty decent jump. There was a bunch of skiers between 46 and 50 metres. Only Regina Jaquess and Jacinta Carroll that exceeded 50 metres in the elimination round, although Brittany Greenwood was really close. I think from memory she was at 49.8. So it's all in front of us now. Jump final, still led by the lady from France, of course, Emil Ritter, who has 46.6 metres. (2019) IWWF World Waterski Championships. So we watch the ladies jump final here. Here we go. Marie. See what she does. Just turns just around the 600 foot ball. Good strong edge out though. She looks quite stylish on the skis at the moment. Doesn't look to be in a bad position. Makes her cut for the ramp. Oh geez, pretty late in the end. Big kick off the top. Around that 40, yeah, I think probably around 47 metres actually to open up.
Yeah, the first one we've really seen to drive through the wakes, land on the second side, and have the right ski right up underneath her, landing straight on it, loading the right, and driving into the base. And she's gonna take the lead on this. Really good opener and jump.
Absolutely.
You can see how well she jumps the wakes on the 6, jumping the lakes, landing right on the left ski, right on the right ski. That's a lot of years of experience, a lot of things that you teach kids at a very young age is how to get through the wakes, how to land on the ski. 54.1.
Really? Let's just confirm that distance, I think. I don't think it looked that far to me. Oops. Yeah, no, disregard the 54.
Wow, that was huge.
Yeah. Now 46.1 actually, which is the same distance we had from Valentina Gonzalez. So
gotcha.
Tied up. These images from the start talk are really good, aren't they? Get right into the minds of these jumpers preparing. It's Alexandra Danishevskaya there for Belarus, just running through things as she sits on the start dock. Here's Maria Varmabrenitsov. It's not how you say her last name, but at least I'm trying. I'll get maybe get most improved this week. Jump number 2, 46.1 to open. She's rushed that turn. She thinks she's pretty late. She is. She's got good speed. That's further. That's actually really close to 50, I think, Jared. We might have our first 50-meter jump.
Yeah, that was a thrash of a turn. She definitely trying to take some heat into the turn here, edging out, cranking the turnaround. Sometimes this can really play bad if you overload out of the turn and you cannot maintain that drive. But she manages to hold on to it and gets her legs.
49.7 I'm hearing.
There you go. Yep.
So real close to 50. 49.7. Great jump. Maria Varmabrenitsov. Belarusian team there, of course. Looking relaxed. It's great to see on the dock. Next up there we see it's Alexandra Danishevskaya from Belarus. .49.7 new leader, of course. Maria from Greece has taken the lead.
I'd like her to bring it down a little bit so that she can carry a little more speed, but on her glide, just stay up on her toes so she doesn't panic and get her skis around and see if she'll bring it down on the 6 here. Roughly the same spot. Maybe she'll get a good dig on the second side here.
She's got good width here. Let's see how she goes. Maybe not rush the turn quite so much. She snaps around into the ramp. Big stretch into the bottom. She only just made it on there, I think, Jared. She was having a crack. She's upset, but it is the world's final, I guess.
Definitely had some ski chatter into the base of the ramp there that definitely looked scary. Sitting back here a little bit. A lot of times when you're sitting on your heels and you're a little stiff, you're going to feel more of the rollers. Good dig, though. When you dig that hard, sometimes you just can't hold it. The right ski just getting away from it. She's leaning on her left and just missing the lift. You don't want to be in a slalom lane. You want to be up and square and totally loaded and get the right hip loaded and get that right ski out in front of you. And she was so hard on the left shoulder that she just could not maintain it through the top of the ramp. But she was willing to hang it out there. She was going for it.
Yeah, so her second will be a best. 49.7 was a second. The third one, we won't worry too much about the distance. As we go to the super talent out of Belarus now, Alexandra Danishevskaya from Belarus. There we go, folks. Making her way down the course. Now she had a jump in the preliminary round of 47.4 meters. 47.4. And her best, of course, is up over 50 meters. As we watch this women's jump final. So Canada up next. Cole Grant there on the dock. Well, this Whitney, of course, getting ready. Great shots down at the dock. Whitney McClintock, current leader in the overall. So Alexandra from Minsk in Belarus, although resides at the moment in Winter Garden, Florida. She's 22 years of age. She pulls out wide for the 600 football. Started skiing at 8 years of age. First tournament at 8 years of age. Her favourite event's the jump event. Why wouldn't it be? This looks like a pretty good approach. I like the look of this.
Good speed in the turn.
Really nice.
Oh,
yes,
nice.
Nice jump. Good solid opening jump, around 48-ish, I think, high 40s. Good stuff there from Alexandra.
Yeah, keeping her upper body away from the jump, facing down course. Really good rotation in the turn for an opener. Good dig into the bottom. Nice drive off the top. Really good open and jump.
Really nice. 2014 World Junior Champion, of course. Personal best of 54.5 metres. So she's got a lot left in the tank. 48.2 opening jump. And that's our new leader, of course. Sorry, it's not our new leader. We had a 49.7 from Maria, but puts her in second spot. 48.2, Alexandra Danishevskaya of Belarus.
So that's a key for a lot of the athletes coming off, having a game plan, reading the conditions right away from the start. When you go out on your first jump, to know roughly where you're going to start. And when you have your first jump and you hit it right where you thought, it's a really, really good feeling. Get one under your belt. You don't have to nail it on your first one, but you want to know that you're pretty close to where you think the conditions are. And then your second jump, make a commitment.
Absolutely. Just had a message from guy that skis at my place, Chris Lincoln, young guy. He's watching this with Tane Gibson at the moment. They wanted a shout out, so I'll give him a quick shout out. This is pretty late actually, I think, down there, or maybe not. She's got it under control. Seems to be slightly later. Good strong pull out. I really like this girl's style. She's good on the skis. Nice turn. Up we go. That's a big jump. Ooh, maybe not quite as big. It's a similar distance. Looked really nice to me. Maybe she didn't quite have the speed I thought she had. Yeah,
really good countercut. She's getting good drive off the second side on her countercut, getting her up on the boat, being allowed to get her skis around. Good dig here. I think she flattens off a little bit. Skis are bouncing a bit here. Not driving all the way through the top. Losing a little bit of speed there at the base, but still square and coming off. Maybe she's just a little bit early. She's got to bring it down at the 600 a little bit.
Similar sort of distance, I think. .47.5, so 48 to her first is still her best. And leading still, of course, is Maria from Greece.
Sometimes when you get a really good countercut and you get better speed and you might be a little bit later, you get a little bit better turn, you're up on the boat and you come around and you're actually earlier at the base of the ramp. That's really the hard thing about jumping, is you got to push yourself, but actually the better the turn gets, the slower the turn actually gets better and you get to the base earlier. But it's so hard to get yourself to do that. When the ramp's coming up and you start panicking and you think you're late, relaxing and letting your skis finish is usually not normal practice.
Absolutely. Here we go now. This is Alexandra Danishevskaya from Belarus. This is her third and final jump. She's got a 48.2. She wants more. She's a 50-metre plus jumper. She wants to go over 50 at these world champs. If you go over 50, you've got a chance at the podium. Into the ramp she comes. Does she get her legs? Decent kick off the top. And that will be close to 50. Maybe not quite 50, though. I think maybe 49.5 metres. We'll wait and see. Just not quite getting it all together here, Jarrett.
She kept going in the same place off the 600, so she must have felt like she was in the right spot, trying to maybe relax a little bit in the turn and not panic and let the hands and let everything go here, and that so she can save some energy for the base of the ramp and dig as hard as she can and get more pressure into the base and get better legs. That was a lot better, but you see she's still coming off the far side left, meaning she's still a little bit early. She just didn't hang it out there today.
No, just get the feeling she's left a little bit out there, really. I think, as you said, didn't adjust it at all on the 600 football. Didn't bring herself down the course at all.
Yeah, that was a better turn, better setup, and then she came off the far side. So perfect turn, but she needed to bring everything down and do the same thing just a little bit later.
49.4 though, so puts her in second spot, 49.4. So the distances are up actually at the moment, which is a good sign. It points to the top guys, or top girls, sorry, jumping further as we make our way through this ladies jump final. Superstar of the sport, of course, Whitney McClintock just leaving the dock, current leader in the women's overall.
Yeah, even though Whitney's only 29 years old, she's kind of a veteran in this sport. She's been doing it for so long. The famous McClintock name. Joel McClintock, world champion, 79. Judy McClintock. The whole family's been in the sport. Jeff, Sharon, mother and father on the shore supporting her. Brothers in the sport. I mean, just...
Yep, so Whitney has looking like she's got a good shot in the overall. She's leading at the moment. She can make that better, of course, by increasing her jump score. She was quite commendable, of course. She jumped 47.7 she went in the elimination round, but she can go further, of course. She's a 50-metre plus jumper. So let's see how she goes. Seasoned veteran, as you said, just 29 years of age, but
that's pretty aggressive.
Right into her work here now. She pulls out strong in the Nautique towboat. Nice turn. Good speed, good lift off the top. Around that sort of 48-metre mark to start, I think, from Whitney.
Yeah, just being on her left ski, coming off the top of the ramp, leaning on that shoulder. Needs to get her right ski underneath her, and but really good, aggressive start. Definitely where Whitney needs to be. She would like to pick up a little bit in the overall race. Pretty decent setup here. Letting her skis finish. Just see what happens at the base of the ramp. Just leaning on that left shoulder coming off the base. Maybe just staying down through the ramp. Be able to get a little more pressure in the bottom and get a little better lift off the top.
47.7 metres. I think I heard, I'll confirm that for Whitney. Here we got the scores so far, of course. Maria Varmabrenitsov, 49.7. Alexandra Danishevskaya, 48.9. Emma Brunel, 46.6. Valentina Gonzalez, 45.1. Sadie Ferguson, 44.5, and Brooke Baldwin 43.9. That is our first 6 skiers. We have 6 to come. We've got Whitney out on the water now. She's the first of the final 6. And, sorry, 46.7 was her opening jump, 46.7, 153 feet. She'll go, she's so smart, she knows exactly where she is in the course. I've got a feeling she'll go a little bit further each jump. She'll go up by 2 metres each jump is my prediction. Let's see if I can actually get something right for once in commentary. Good edge into the bottom. Oh, not going to go up on that jump. It's a little bit disappointing from Whitney. Jump number 2.
Yeah, watch her coming in. She's gliding pretty good, having the decent, holding her arm. She's a little bit tight in the right hand, running out of speed a little bit here in the turn. Pretty decent turn. Kind of dropping in the hole, and she's just tight at the base of the ramp, sitting back, just not letting the boat have the rope out of the turn, just tightening up and just cannot drive through the top of the ramp.
No, we'll forget about that one. It's not going to be as far at distance. Okay, so 49.7 from Maria from Greece, 49.4 from Alexandra from Belarus, and Whitney McClintock-Reaney at the moment sitting in 3rd spot with her first jump, which was 46.7.
Yeah, Whitney has 4 world titles to her name. Back in 2011, she won the slalom world title. Back in 2009, she won the slalom, trick, and overall title. She is definitely wanting to get back on the podium and win the overall world title here, so she will be hanging it out on this jump.
Absolutely. She will look to bring it down a little bit, get her legs around the 600 football. She goes big, strong pull out. Stands nicely up over her skis. Here we go, Whitney McClintock reading now. Jump number 3 into the ramp. She's got plenty of speed. Back a bit on a lift. She has got the further distance though. She's thrown the fist.
She's pretty happy.
Wow. She's happier than I am about that jump, I've got to say, but good on her. We'll wait and see.
Yeah, pretty good turn. Coming in a little bit on her heels, meaning she's running out of speed, but she just wants to get some dig into the bottom. A lot better with her ski underneath. A little bit stiff on the ramp, but gets a hold of it, gets some float.
49.5, so it's a big jump. Gets her into second spot. Maybe the fist throw is because she knew she'd done enough to win the overall. I don't know. She'd certainly good to see her happy out there anyway. Jarrett?
Yeah, 3 good jumps coming back to the dock is safe. I'd be.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. My last go at the World Championships didn't go so
No,
well,
true.
so I didn't throw the fist. So.
No, that's right.
No.
Okay, so it's pretty tight at the moment actually at the top. 49.7 from Maria Varmabrenitsov from Greece. Alexandra Danishevskaya has got 49.4, but we've just seen a 49.5 from Whitney. So she's in between those two. So it's only 0.3 of a metre separating the top 3 at the moment. We go to another Canadian athlete, of course, Taryn Grant. She is in really good form. We're getting down to our last top seeds. There's Brittany Greenwood on the dock. Then, of course, we have our top 3, Hanna Straltsova, Regina Jaquess, and Jacinta Carroll. Good to see the focus as the gloves go on for Brittany Greenwood. Taryn Grant from Canada, of course. Brother Cole, Canadian team coach from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Currently resides in Lafayette, Louisiana, 24 years of age. Coached by brother Cole, Matt Reaney, and the ULL ski team. Strongest discipline is jump. Personal best 51.4 metres. Big strong pull out. Jump number 1, Taryn Grant. Aurora the Nortiga, she comes into the ramp. Big kick off the top. That's a good opening jump from Taryn Grant. It's going to be up real high, up around that 48, 49 metres just to start.
Yeah, Taryn is a 3 eventer, but her strong event is definitely jump. She's had a few injuries over the last year, and she's coming back strong as ever. Looking pretty good here. Nice warm up, nice dig into the bottom. Strong through the wakes. Kind of missing it on the ramp and doing a little bit of a line drive, but maybe just a touch early, but that's pretty typical on the first jump. Good opener, good feeling to get under your belt to bang that one out on the first jump.
48.5 opening jump, 48.5 Taryn Grant.
Taryn is so involved in the sport. She judges and she helps the kids and all the tournaments. She's always involved and engaged. She's always got a smile on her face. She's so quiet, but she's just such a joy to be around. But when it comes to jumping, she's pretty fierce. She likes to get out there and she's going to go for it.
We still haven't seen a 50-metre jump. It's going to come. We know it. It's going to come. Taryn's PB 51.5, so she's been over 50 before. Let's hope she can do it here right now. Jump number 2. Bit of a snow plough. Turns a couple, 2 or 3 metres past the 600-foot ball. This looks good, really controlled. I like the look of this. Into the ramp she goes. Big kick off the top.
There you go.
Just missed something there. It looked great ramp form, but I think she missed a bit of speed.
Good countercut here. She's edging out. She's leaning a little bit on the outside. She looks a little stiff, but dishing off a little bit of speed. A little stiff there right at the end of the turn. Leaning a bit. Decent cut. Going through the wakes pretty good. Just seems to be a bit early and coming off the left side. You see a lot of that. All the jumpers have been, with the conditions the way they are, they're just hanging back and kind of checking their speed, and they're on their heels, which is just not going to help you today. You need to stay up and maintain some speed. If you get up on your toes, it sucks the speed out of you. So you need to carry more speed in the turn and be able to control that speed in the turn.
47.4, so her first remains her best, which of course was 48.5 meters.
I really like her turn and the hookup. She's not getting all the pressure right out of the turn. She's turning and she's trying to let the skis run a bit. She's trying to give it to the boat. She's trying to make sure that she has the most pressure on the second side. And she's just a little bit too early. Maybe if she can figure that out on this one, bring it down and still stay relaxed, we might see the biggest jump from Taryn today.
Third and final now. Let's see if we can't get her up over 50.
Oh, here we go.
She has brought this down a bit. This is quite a bit later, actually. She's going to have a bit of a crack here. Waits as late as she possibly can. Makes her turn for the ramp. Plenty of speed in the bottom of the ramp. Does she get the kick? She kind of misses it a bit, but still, the speed will get her close to the 50-meter mark.
Yeah, hats off to her. She was pushing it there. She brought it down to the 6, coming in a lot hotter. Letting the skis come around. Dropping in on her back shoulder a little bit. Pretty good dig, and coming into the base just out over the front. That left ski kind of flaring out there. Looked a little bit, first I thought I was a little bit worried about it, but really good. I think it might be her longest jump though.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're going to be pretty close to 50 meters, that jump. 49.4. 49.4 actually ties her up with Alexandra Danishevskaya from Belarus. Puts her in third equal. Still a long way to go though. Brittany Greenwood from the US of A, of course, brought in his late injury cover for the great Freddie Kruger, who unfortunately couldn't to make his way down to Putrajaya for these World Championships. Very proud moment for the Greenwood family. Dad Scott, of course, brother Sam.
I was just, I don't know, I was looking at the score earlier. I guess I thought Whitney didn't pick up, but she did pick up. 49.5, so that's definitely going to help her for the overall race. No wonder she was throwing the fist. I thought it was roughly the same, but when the score first came up, I must have been looking at something wrong. But hats off to Whitney. That's really impressive to pick up a little gain on the overall race. Might secure the gold.
Absolutely. Still pretty close, so I'm just looking at the overall at the moment. There's still not a heck of a lot in it. She is definitely ahead. But jump will if Jacinta jumps, 57, 58, well, like she can, or even further, then it will compress these guys down.
Yeah, it will
quite
depress
a bit.
those
So
scores, so it changes the whole game, doesn't it? Yeah.
So there's a lot to happen yet in this overall race. Here we go, Brittany Greenwood, jump number 1 from the southern part of the United States, Greenwood family.
So conditions have changed here. We definitely have a headwind here. It's picked up, a lot better conditions.
Yeah, so if you obviously now you've got to adjust your cut a little bit though. You've got a headwind, you've got to bring it down a little bit, I guess. Work hard to get wide. But if you do that and get late enough and get enough speed and get up over those skis, get that tip pressure, and we will start to see some big jumps.
Yeah, Brittany just taking a look at it there, but definitely standing down on the dock. It's calmed down in this cove, and the skiers are probably knowing that it's a headwind, but how much is it is going to depend on your first jump and feeling it out. But our last jumpers that are going to come out are going to be committed right from the start if they want to be on the podium today.
It's great news. If this headwind can hold, it's great news. We've got men's jump coming up after the ladies. Should be absolutely huge.
Brittany from Little Rock.
Little Rock, Arkansas.
Arkansas, 25 years old. I know she skis with Mark Lane. And her dad, whole family. Another family that puts on a lot of tournaments, and her brother's a really good skier as well.
Okay, conditions are good now here for the jump final. It's just what we wanted, a head breeze. Putrajaya, women's jump final 2019 IWWF World Champs. Towed, of course, exclusively by the sensational Nautique towboat. Here comes Brittany Greenwood. Passed on the first jump. Needs to get a score on the board here in this final. Into the ramp she comes. Good speed in. Good kick off the top. Solid jump up in the high 40 meters. Good to get that one under her belt.
Good position here, gliding up over her skis. Much better standing on her toes, leaning out a little bit, making me think that she's running at a little bit of speed, trying to get her hand on the handle. Line is definitely tight. She needs to carry more speed through the turn, but really drives hard. It was a little bit bumpy there at the bottom, but because she was driving so hard that she got her legs, so very impressive to pull that off through those conditions.
.47.1 distance for Brittany Greenwood. Our Greek competitor still leads with 49.7, Maria Varmabrenitsov.
You know, when Brittany first came out, the wind was just starting to come to a headwind. It's been picking up, and that might be, it's hard to adjust when the wind's starting to pick up. Each jump, you think you're bringing it down, but then the wind's a little bit stronger. You ended up a little bit earlier, so she's got to make a really big adjustment here if she wants to attack the ramp.
So here we go, third and final, 47.1. Remember, she jumped really big actually in the qualifying round. I think it was it 49.8 or something? It was a really big jump. So she'll be wanting to at least get back to that sort of distance. Here we go, Brittany Greenwood, USA, into the ramp. Back a little bit on a lift. I don't think that's going to be it.
Yeah, good legs, but just not the speed. I think that she's just miscalculating the wind, not carrying enough through the turn. Once you start dropping back and you get picked up by the boat, you just can't generate enough speed. And like you said, yeah, she did jump 49.8 in the first round.
She hasn't jumped that far today though, so she'll be a little disappointed. Right, we're down to our last three now. We're about to find out who's got on the podium, and still leading is our Greek competitor, of course, Maria Varmabrenitsov, and she's got a real chance now of getting on the podium. The last three, of course, the top seeds will be Hanna Straltsova from Belarus, Regina Jaquess from the USA, and Aussie Jacinta Carroll.
We were just talking about Brittany that was on the water. She was skiing, but Freddie was actually supposed to be here, and Freddie had a slight injury. I've heard that it's he pulled a muscle or on a rib, and just sometimes when you pull that, you just can't, the pain when you're trying to cut as hard as in the base of the ramp, just too painful. And Freddie decided to pull out, and Brittany was put on the team. So unfortunately, we don't get to see Freddie go up against Ryan and the other guys today, but we will see some big jumps this afternoon.
Absolutely. That's about to go. I understand that I don't think we've got any break. I haven't heard of any break between the women's and the men's jump, so we're not too far away from a start in that. Obviously changed the driver and the crew and a few of the judges out, but it's all going to happen pretty quick. Unfortunately, I don't want it to end. I've had so much fun sitting here the last 6 days enjoying the best water skiing in the world. But unfortunately, in an hour and a half or so, I guess it will be all over the skiing part anyway of the World Championships. Okay, this young lady here, huge opportunity. I don't think she would have ever had a World Championship medal, particularly, certainly not an Open. She went 50.2 in the preliminary round, and she only has to jump the same. If she jumps the same as she did in the elimination round, she'll end up with a medal here. So let's wish her the best. From Belarus, Hanna Straltsova. So pull out here. Good turn. Looks good to me so far. Big kick off the top.
There you go.
There
Holy
you go.
moly.
That is a medal now for Belarus. The Belarusian athlete has got a medal. It's over 51 to 52 meters, I would say, Jarrett. Congratulations. We have our first podium place getter in jump.
Definitely the setup. She got more width on the boat here. She got good swing out. She got a lot better turn, allowing her to drive into the base of the ramp. Dropping in the hole a little bit there, losing it, but just had the speed and gets a hold of it.
That is a big jump. We'll wait for the score. Sure, it's going to be, 53.3. That's even further than I thought. That is a big jump from Hanna Straltsova. That even gives her a shot at getting a silver here, I think, or even more maybe. Who knows?
That was massive, massive. And she's got more in the tank. She got a great turn, but didn't go through the wakes quite well, and didn't drive into the base like she could, and to go that far on, I mean, it wasn't a line drive, but she did not get the dig that she wanted at the base. And that was an opener. Nice warm-up.
Absolutely. Great stuff, this young Belarusian. She's done it for a country. She's done it for herself. 24 years of age, of course, from Novopolstik in Belarus. Not a place I've been before. Trains at Bennett Ski School in Louisiana. Here we go. Jump number 2. Can she go further? 53.3 on opener. It's tough to back up with the bigger one when you've gone that far on the first, but she needs to. She's got Regina Jaquess and Jacinta Carroll chasing her. This looks great approach, super confidence, into the ramp she goes. Big kick off the top, almost got out over the skis too far, I thought there, Jarrett, but she's okay. That's another good jump, similar sort of hole.
Yeah, really good. Roughly the same place off the 600, got the same setup, so she felt really good. She tried to relax, try to delay, let the boat drop in a little bit, and get more dig into the bottom, and that's what happened. She definitely pulled her up over her skis, got a good turn here, tried to relax, try to just drive here and maintain and drive on the second side, and she got way better, and the pull off the top of the weight was so much more.
.53, so it's even further.
Yeah.
Well done. 53.5. Hanna Straltsova in all kinds of form. This is lifted excitement around the site, lifted excitement around the webcast world. Because what this says to me, the conditions are good. If this young lady is doing this, then Regina Jaquess can go big. And of course, we've got Jacinta Carroll out last. She can go even bigger. So it's going to be a great classic jump final.
So Hanna's having a really good set here, finding her spot right off the get-go. Turned a little too hard on the first jump. She relaxed on the second jump. It pulled her up over her tips. If she could stay in the same spot and drive through the base of the ramp and just stay driving away from the boat and get a little more snap off the top of the ramp, we're going to see a 54, maybe a 55-meter jump here.
Here we go, this young lady, she's jumped so well. She's guaranteed at worst a bronze in this ladies jump final. The Belarusian. Lovely turn. Just misses the kick a little bit there, unfortunately. Plenty of speed, you know, even without the kick there, she's gone 48 or 49 meters.
Yeah, it did look like she got the counter cut that she did on the other one. It looks like she's running out of speed a little bit on this and tried to drive in a little bit harder right at the start because she didn't have the speed from the get-go. She's just driving and leaning. It just could not hold it. but some really good jumping. That was sets the pace for the rest of the girls on the dock. Yeah.
I mean, at worst, she's going to get a bronze. She's on the podium. Congratulations to Hanna. Well, we look at the helmet, the Star Spangled Banner on the helmet of the great Regina Jaquess, of course, defending champion in the overall world slalom record holder. Missed out of winning the slalom by the skinniest of margins yesterday, of course, Manon Castard took out that World Women's Slalom title. Regina goes out there needing 53.6 to take the lead in this women's jump final. Down, looks across at the USA team coach, Jay Bennett, on the point. It's a little bit of advice as to conditions.
And just going through on the website, we have a champions tab, which is all the world championships, and I just counted 10.
10 gold medals at world champs. That's sensational.
Regina has
Regina.
10 times, might be wrong, but 10 world titles.
Absolutely, magnificent.
Basically in all the disciplines.
yeah, she's got a trick one from way back.
Oh, look at these boys. Go out and buy your World Water Skiers t-shirt. Look at the guy on the television supporting World Water Skiers.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, Regina Jaquess now, ladies jump final, 2019 IWWF World Water Ski Champs. Let's see how she goes here. Jump number 1, 53.6 is the aim to take the lead off Hanna Straltsova of Belarus into the ramp. Good kick off the top.
Oh, jeez. Pressing a little hard
Pressing
right
a little hard there, but not enough to take the lead. Could be enough, though, to get into the bronze medal position. We'll have to wait and see.
Oh, man, that
Wow,
left ski
almost.
just dropping down there. I'd like to see that again. Can you bring that up there? Coming into the turn, she dishes off. She's sitting back. She's sitting on her heels, and she's kind of doing a little bit of a snowplow check turn here. Coming in a bit hot. But Regina is so talented on all her skis, driving through into the base of the ramp, and she always gets her kick. Coming off square. Tip just dropping there a bit. Wind might have died out on her as she came up over her tips, but nice opener.
49.9. 49.9. That gives her a bronze medal at worst. Puts her into third spot. Be interesting to see. It's going to take a decent jump for Regina here to get a silver. She's certainly well capable of it. But that's a good effort we've seen from the Belarusian, Hanna Straltsova, with that 53.5 metre effort. And there is an absolute legend of our sport, Jacinta Carroll on the dock. You lose track, don't you, of the win record she's got. It's getting close to 40 consecutive wins, I think, now for Rabbit, Jacinta Carroll. She's dominating women's jump. It's Jacinta Carroll, number 1 in women's jump at the moment, and Daylight is second, and then you go down to the third best jumper. Anyway, we're on the water again now. Regina Jaquess opens up with a 49.9, gets her in second spot. Can she go further into the ramp? Big speed, big kick off the top. Oh, that's a big jump, is it? Yes. It's still not quite enough, though. I think the Belarusian's going to hang on to the lead, but that was tidy stuff, though, I think, Jarrett.
Yeah, really good. Coming to the turn, still doing a little bit of a check snowplow, maybe get a little bit better countercut so she can relax in the turn here, but Regina riding her skis so well, a little bit of chatter there. Pretty good placement, really good push off the top of the ramp, driving the handle down and milking it as much as she can. She's gonna have to get a little bit better countercut, maybe bring it down a bit on the 6 and take a little more heat into the turn.
.2 cements her position on the podium, but needs to find another, well, more than 2 meters on this next one to take the lead of Hanna Straltsova from Belarus. So plenty of action still to come in this ladies jump final. There's our leaders board, because it needs hasn't been updated yet with Regina's score. Regina slots into second spot, of course, with a 51.2 meter effort. It gives you a bit of an idea of where we're at in this ladies jump. Here we go, Regina Jaquess.
Does she bring it down at the 6? Yes, a little bit. Good dig on the second side. Leaning out, trying to shut it down. Big turn here, driving into the base of the ramp. Getting a hold of it and pressing out, but I just don't know if she has the speed.
Not enough. She's going to finish with either silver or bronze here. This is turning out to be a great day for Belarus. Hanna Straltsova, of course, from Belarus, has finished up, but at the moment she's guaranteed a silver, because we're all presuming Jacinta Carroll will do the business here. This absolute legend of world water skiing. Getting close, I think, to 40 consecutive wins in the jump event. That's obviously professional titles, and of course you can throw in the world champs as well. She's been unbeatable now for more than 4 years in the jump event. Lives up in Queensland now, but in Australia, but originally from Victoria, product of the Geelong Waterski Club down there, about an hour south of Melbourne.
Couple things riding on this, not just the jump title, which
the overall, yeah.
Yeah, the overall. That's one thing that she would definitely want to claim here.
Well, at least if she can't win it, she wants to get on the podium, because at the moment she's sitting in 5th spot. So she's got a bit of work to do to get on the podium even in overall. She's sitting in 5th, but she can really make a difference here though with her jump. Makes her way down the ramp. The boat, of course, will be doing 54 kilometers per hour. The ramp is at 1.65 meters in height. The old 5.5 foot in the old money. The big 6.2 litre Nautique will be coming on course very shortly. Wind is just, I hate to say it, is it still a headwind, Jarrett? It's a bit hard to see from here.
Yeah, it's
that's good.
A little bit of a cross head. It's not coming straight down the pipe, but definitely better conditions than she had in the first round.
Way better than the prelim round. She wasn't happy. For her to do well in overall, she has to out-jump the girls by quite a ways, and it was a little choppy when she jumped yesterday afternoon, but much better here today. Here she comes, Jacinta Carroll, jump number 1. Look, I guess, no surprise, she'll probably get the gold medal on the first, but we shouldn't be so blasé. It's still tough to get. Needs 53.6. Turns pretty hard here. Into the ramp she goes. Up she goes. Big kick up the top. Oh, look at her go. It's a big jump. I don't know if it's massively over the distance she needs, though. It's going to be a similar sort of distance, I think. She needs 53.6. I think it is about that, Jarrett. Well, watch this here. It looked like she rushed the turn a little bit to me.
Yeah, good dig here. Gets popped up off the weight because she started so hard, but Jacinta's so strong on the ramp with her legs, with all the weight training she's done. She just launches off the top of the ramp. Just not the setup out of the turn that she wanted. She knew she wanted to be aggressive right from the start, but she might have bit off too much out of the turn.
World record holder, of course. World record's up over 60 meters now. Not quite 200 feet yet. I think 60.9 is the 200-foot mark, and that's one of her career hot goals, I'm sure. We're waiting for that distance to come through for Jacinta Carroll. 54.1, so she's got the gold medal. 54.1, Jacinta Carroll has the gold. Congratulations. She is now going to jump for overall, I would say. She's, we know, tapping in, or, you know, helmet between under the arm, waving to the crowd. She's going to stay out there. She's going to go as hard and as late as she possibly can and try and get herself up. She's in 5th in overall at the moment. See if she can't leapfrog a few places and get herself onto the podium in overall.
Really critical, a little more bumpy, a little more windy down there. She's got critical down here. She's brought it down. She's right on the 600 foot ball. Big dig here on the second side.
Big
Snap up on the
out.
boat. Good glide. Pretty typical turn for Jacinta. Dig into the bottom. Oh, there's bigger.
Yep, she's found another metre or so, I'd say. I'd say we're getting up 55, maybe 56 metres.
She's all fired up, and
She is.
oh my God.
You do not want to look at her the wrong way right now. She is steely-eyed. Look at this, look at the determination.
Really big jumps that I've seen Jacinta come in. She does this little snowplow check here. Not too much of one. She's not as late as she normally is, but still.
Big turn.
Big turn here. Just flares through the wake, but lands straight on her right ski, just driving. No one's driving like that. Just loading up the rope and just a super extension off the top and pressing like no one does.
54.9, 54.9. She's got the gold. Not sure that she's got enough yet to be on the podium in overall. Have a quick look, see if it's updating for us as we go along. I don't think it is actually. Not exactly sure how to work the laptop here, but I thought the overall might update as each jump comes in, but I'm not sure that it is. See Patrice Martin in the stands there. Good on you, Patrice. Legend, of course. 4-time men's overall champion of the world champs. Absolute sensation. Remember when Sammy DeVal won 3 titles, we thought that would never be beaten, and of course Patrice Martin got 4 world overall titles. Here we go, Jacinta Carroll trying to get on the podium in overall. She needs to get a 58 or 59 metre jump.
Interesting, she turned at the same spot on the 6, probably trying to let the skis run here a little bit.
Big turn, dig. Big speed, into the ramp she goes, big kick up the top. Oh, similar distance, I think. She's not happy, slaps the thigh.
Not happy to be world champ.
Yeah, but that, yeah, I know.
She wanted right. So much, just coming in here. Big turn, like you said. Big dig into the bottom, little bumpy, but just pressing out over the top.
I'm sure she'll be happy to have the gold, but she's just wants so much all the time. She wants to jump 60 metres every time. She wanted to get on the podium in overall. She may actually be on the podium in overall. I don't know. I'm not a human calculator here in commentary, but she certainly jumped the way up the places a little bit. But still, gold medal, Jacinta Carroll. Silver medal, congratulations to Hanna Straltsova from Belarus, and Regina Jaquess will get the bronze. We are going to be back very shortly, folks, with the men's jump final. We will put the jump up, of course, to... Oh, sorry, first couple of skiers will be at 165, so we'll leave the jump alone. It won't be too long, and we'll have our men's jump final. Okay, so Gerald Allen's headed down to Start Dock to interview a couple of the ladies jumpers. Not seeing shots at the moment of Jacinta Carroll, but it's traditional in the Carroll family that Father Doug will end up in the lake here. Dougie Carroll is normally what happens every time Jacinta wins a world title, which goes back, of course, to 2013, I think it was, in Chile, in Santiago. Looks like we're rocking straight on with this men's jump final, which is exciting. He's got his rope ready, his skis are on. First up, of course, Daniil Filchenko from the Ukraine. Then we've got Louis Duplan-Fribourg from France. Then the ramp will go up to the 1.8. Thibault Dailland of France. Martin Kolman from the Czech Republic. Adam Sedlmajer of the Czech Republic also. Joel Poland from Great Britain. Emil Ritter from Chile, Taylor Garcia out of the US, Jack Critchley from Great Britain, Felipe Miranda from Chile, Egor Morozov from Russia, and of course the great man Ryan Dodd, the world record holder, will be last off. So that's our men's jump final. Looks like we're getting straight into it. The commentary team will be myself, of course, and Jarrett Llewellyn. Jarrett's just run down to the dock to do a couple of interviews. Skis are coming off, so maybe not quite going straight in. So watching the dock, pictures live from the dock, the Daniil Filchenko had his skis on, he's just taking them off. Won't be too long till we're underway though. Just had Jacinta Carroll win the ladies jump, of course, and we're about to go with the men's jump final, the big event, of course, of the day of any world championships. Here we go. Looks like Jarrett Llewellyn on the dock. Trying to find one of the ladies by the look of it down there for an interview. See that red boat, of course, the jump boat, the big 6.2 litre. It's actually off to New Zealand. Look forward to that. A few rumours going around in New Zealand, and it's headed off to the South Island, so we look forward to that, down to the Canterbury region. Be good to get one of those new nautiques down into the South Island of New Zealand. Just trying to set up an interview, as I said. Beautiful warm afternoon here, give you an idea. It's 34 degrees, feels more like 38 degrees, of course, with the high humidity. Very warm. I'm lucky enough I've been in the air conditioning, but of course those on site sweltering away a bit. Beautiful city of Putrajaya. Been magnificent hosts of these 2019 IWWF World Waterski Champs. Okay, we're going now to Jarrett Llewellyn down on the dock as we watch Daniil Filchenko head away for jump number one.
Okay, can you guys hear me? Glenn, can you hear me? Okay, I got Jacinta down here on the dock. Congratulations, incredible. That's 4 inter-world world titles.
Yeah, it's obviously pretty special to come out here in Putrajaya and take the win at a world championship, so I'm not going to complain about that.
I know you just always going hard, but it wasn't just the jump title. You were trying to pick up on the overall title.
Yeah, I think I needed about 55.5 metres to squeeze a bronze in overall. Like, listen, I came here for a jump medal and overall would have been a bonus. I ski 2 days a week. I can't complain with coming 4th or 5th in overall, but sneaky bronze would have been amazing.
Well, you always make our hair stand up, and you're always going for it. You're so fun to watch, and congratulations.
Thanks, Jared, and thanks for all the organisers for putting on a fabulous event, and for all the sponsors and all the crowd for coming out and watching us. You know, we need more of that in our sport, and it's just awesome to be able to have another event, get on the water, and come home with a world championship. I can't complain.
Congratulations. Now go relax. See you at the banquet.
Thanks, mate.
Okay. Here we go, Daniil Filchenko from the Ukraine. Of course, that massive 69.3 at the last chance qualifier, Sunset Lakes in mid-May, set the jumping world alight. He sent a message across the world, in fact, at just how much this guy was improving in the jump event. Beautiful turn, lots of speed at the bottom of the ramp. Oh, he's gone straight out the front with a full front flip, but that one's going to hurt. Well, Daniil Filchenko opens up this men's jump final with an absolutely horrendous jump crash. Oh, not what we wanted to see. It is, of course, these young guys will be pushing hard out here. There's a big moment. They're at the big dance, of course, the men's jump final. And let's just go through. I haven't got Jarrett Llewellyn with expert comments up here right now, but I'll help you through it here, folks. All look pretty good at this point. He's feeling fairly confident about life as he makes his turn to the jump ramp. Daniil Filchenko. Pretty big turn here as he comes across the wakes. Super slow-mo. You're watching, of course, on the big screen or on the webcast back home. Onto the jump ramp. Wow. You be the judge. Doesn't really matter exactly what he did wrong on the jump there. It's gonna hurt, and into the water he goes. Full front flip. Great to see him standing up on the back of the boat, though. If we go back to those pictures on the boat, looks to be not too bad. They're checking the skis. They'll give him a bit of an IAA head assessment, of course. Wow, exciting start to the men's jump final. Not what we want to see, but certainly gets the blood pumping, doesn't it? Magnificent young overall skier, of course. Daniil Filchenko out of the Ukraine. I'm sure he'll go again, the young fellow. He will desperately want to get a big jump on the board. So 69.3, as I said, was his distance at the last chance qualifier in May up there in Florida and Orlando. Still jumps off the 5.5 foot, so it looked like he'd obviously got that spot, that last chance into those US Masters, but didn't jump at the US Masters because they require a 1.8 metre height at that tournament. Just taking a moment to collect himself, getting a bit of water on board. And, well, right out over the front of those skis, as you saw it happen. He's given the thumbs up to his coaches and supporters. Feeling a bit better about life right now. But, these young guys, those hurt no matter who you are, but when you're young and fit like he is, maybe not quite as bad, who knows. I'm not willing to test it to find out. As we wait, he get his skis back on. The youngster. He'll know what he did wrong there, I'm sure, and his coaches will be communicating with him. Daniil, of course, in the overall battle in the men's, he's sitting in 5th at the moment. Only 100 points off the pace, so I guess the word has gone out, I'm sure, from the Ukrainian team. I mean, if he was to jump what he did at Sunset Lakes in May, he could actually end up winning this world overall title, because he was 60.4. So pretty, you know, if he improves his jump by 8 or 9 meters, obviously, he could actually win the overall title. So he's within a bull's roar, and I'm sure the Ukrainian team coach has put the word on him. He's got a chance, even if not to win it, to get on the podium. He needed a big jump. He needed something at least 65, 66. Obviously, jump number 1, he hasn't found it. He's had a horrible crash, but he's got an opportunity now, of course. 2 more to come. Big moment, high pressure moment here for this young Ukrainian, as he sets this jump final on fire on jump number 1 with a big out the front. Well, he seems to be okay. He's shaking it off. He's a tough young man. They build them pretty tough in Eastern Europe, of course. and he heads down to make his turn. Some of the Italian team up there. We see one of our drivers, actually David, up there, just explaining a few things to the ladies. Les Todd, of course, will be the driver for the men's jump final. World renowned, of course, known around the world as the best jump driver in the world, of course. Okay, so we're about to have jump number 2 for Daniil Filchenko. Once he's over jump number 2, hopefully it's successful. We've got another interview coming up with Jared Llewellyn down at the dock, so looking forward to that. But let's just get through this second jump. Nervous time for Daniil Filchenko here. If you go out the front on jump 1, it's you got to be pretty brave to go hard on a full double on jump number 2. So hats off to this young bloke out of the Ukraine. He looks to be pretty good. He doesn't look to be too much pain. That'll come tomorrow, I'm sure. Here we go, jump number 2. Into the ramp he goes. Big kick up the top. That is a great jump after a crash. It's going to be up over 60. Looks to me maybe 61 to 62 meters. That is brave, super brave from this young man from the Ukraine. Okay, we're going to cross live now to Jared Llewellyn on the dock. He's going to talk to one of the skiers.
Can you hear me, Glenn? Oh, here we go. Hanna, just incredible skiing all weekend long. Incredible jumping out there, taking the silver. How do you feel about that?
I'm so excited and happy. My PB was 55.1 and I jumped 53.5, so it's pretty close. The cut felt really good, but couldn't get that much lift that I'm capable of, but still went pretty far.
And incredible with the skiing that you did. I know there was a little bit of the controversy and you're missing the gate or on the gate and you ran 35 off, so you're in second and you ran 35, so that's incredible skiing.
Yes, the beginning of the tournament was pretty sad for me because I ran 12 and judges didn't give me the gates, so I got 0 at 12, and I thought about don't have chance to get anything in overall, you know.
Maybe we'll come back to you, back to you, Glenn, and I'll keep Hanna here.
Okay, so 62.5, folks, 62.5, the distance for Daniil Filchenko. It's a good effort after a crash. Hats off to him, 62.5. If he wants to get on the podium overall, he probably needs a little more, though. Let's see if he can't find it here on jump number 3. Here we go, makes his turn for the ramp. Up he goes and over. That's a big kick off the toe. That is another big jump from this man. He's not happy. He wants more. They always do, particularly the younger jumpers, of course. But that is another great jump from this young man. Obviously, it's not the barnstorming distance he had in May at Sunset Lakes, but he's not at Sunset Lakes right now. He's in Malaysia, and it's a world champ final here. He pushed hard into the bottom. Big kick off the top. I got
Hanna here if you come back to me.
Still a great jump. Good air form there. Pushes hard out in front. Back to Jarrett, down to the dock.
Oh, hey, Glenn. Got Hanna again. We're just, you did win the Under-21 World Jump Champion, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's incredible. And this is the biggest placement in the Open World Championships.
Yeah, this is first medal at Open Worlds.
So 2 silvers here, congratulations, coming up through the ranks. You're still young, so many more years to go. You've had such a support team. I know you ski with Jay. You got great support staff.
Yes, I want to thank everyone who helped me. Jay Bennett, Alec here on the side, our coach, and my coach from home, Arkady Ginov. They all helped me and made a lot for me.
Congratulations. Where do you go from here? What's the rest of the season have for you?
I actually have cable Europeans just for fun now. And then Malibu Open.
Well, congratulations. Relax. Enjoy it. Awesome skiing. Great to watch you ski.
Thank you.
Okay, back on the water now. We've got our next competitor, Louis Duplan-Fribourg, obviously out of France. And final distance for Daniil Filchenko was 61.7. So 62.5 is his best. He's our leader. We've only had one jumper though. Not as far as he wanted, but impressive effort after a big crash on his first to finish up with 62.5. We have, of course, a young Frenchman now that qualified out of Series 3. Unusual. In fact, I don't know that any skiers qualified out of Series 2, but this young bloke, he qualified out of Series 3 with a 63.7 metre effort. Only a youngster. Just, I think he's around 19 years of age. Louis Duplan-Fribourg. In good form though. To the ramp he goes. Oh, tidy stuff. Not super far. I mean, it's up in the high 50s. He's just getting his eye. And remember, for him, the other guys jumped 2 days ago. It's actually 4 days since he jumped. So, and of course, no practice. There's no alternative practice jump site in Malaysia. So he hasn't been over a jump ramp for 4 or 5 days. So I guess you can allow him that first jump just to take it a little easier. And I think it'll be 58 odd metres when we get the distance through. .58.1 for Louis Duplan-Fribourg. Men's jump final, 2019 IWWF World Waterski Championships. Don't forget, folks, we've got merchandise for sale down there. We've got the official World's t-shirts, hats, caps, all sorts down there. Not only that, we have got WorldWaterSkiers t-shirts as well. Yeah, there's an online store. Go to WorldWaterSkiers and check it all out. All the funds raised from selling their merchandise go into bringing us things like this webcast. This is the webcast brought to you free of charge by WorldWaterSkiers. 58.1 to open for Louis Duplan-Fribourg. Second jump coming now. Pulls out as wide as he can. Makes his turn for the jump ramp. See if he can't get up around that 64 metre mark. That's a big jump from Louis Duplan-Fribourg. It should be well up over 60. I think it'll be a 62-ish. Tidy stuff. He's building nicely. Heading towards, he was 63.7, of course, in the prelim. If he can get up there or even further, he'll be pretty happy. 19-year-old, of course, out of France. Welcome back, Jarrett.
Yeah, Louis got an incredible style. Such a strong young skier, only 19 years old, was a Masters champion and such a solid overall skier. Just driving to the base of the ramp, really good style. Love to watch him ski. I'm a little winded running up those stairs,
good
mate.
Effort, mate. Sprinting back from the dock, climbing up the stairs.
You could just see in Jacinta's eyes, she's such a competitor and just all fired up, and just not out there today, the conditions, and she wanted so much more. But Hanna it was such an incredible story, and how hard she's worked and come out of nowhere and, you know, be dominating in skiing and getting silver in not only jump but in overall as well.
61.8 for Louis Fribourg on his second jump. 61.8, he's building nicely. He would love to get up around that 63, 64 metre mark that he had in qualifying. Here we go. Looks like he's brought it down a little bit here. Pulls out wide on that Nautic towboat. Waiting as long as he dares. Here he goes into the jump ramp. Louis Duplan-Fribourg, he's got a good one here, I think. Oh, he's disappointed. About 62, I think.
Yeah, nice glide. Look at how his arm, he's just nice and relaxed. No tension on that. Free of the boat. Swinging in here. Nice and relaxed out of the turn. Just what you want to see. Driving through the base. A little bit of chatter there. Square off the top. pretty much milking everything. The only thing he could do is try to be a little later and carry a little more speed, but conditions are pretty ideal right now and everybody's fired up.
Yeah, a little disappointed, I think, with a set 62.6, still a good distance. Just, I guess, in those conditions, he always wants more, 62.6.
Yeah, he's still pretty young. That's a pretty good jump out here. Impressive tournament. Very consistent. So next we have Thibault Dailland on the dock from France in the overall hunt, having such a great tournament, having an incredible slalom performance in the preliminaries, looking to improve on his jump performance here, move up on the overall race. Was a little bit short in tricks that he normally tricks. So typically in the overall race, one event normally doesn't go your way, and Thibault will be looking for redemption in the jump event. So in the preliminary round, there was a lot of skiers right on the bubble, right around the 60 meter. Thibault jumped 60.9. But yesterday does not count, and today he's in the finals looking to improve. Thibault living in the U.S., being a real estate agent and working and spending enough time to be able to try to be a 3-event skier is actually pretty incredible. He's been here training for a while with his brother. 29 years old. Started skiing at 5 years old, competing at 14. Family, such a onshore here, such a strong support group. Great family again, all families all over the world. You can always see anybody that does well has a great support family behind them.
Here we go, jump number 1, Thibault Dailland. Looks like a good approach. Nice lift. Around that 60 meter mark to start. Bit short of breath, sorry.
Yeah.
I actually just ran up the stairs, believe it or not. And anyone who knows me, I'm not the slightest man out there, not the fittest man.
Nice setup here. Good turn, maybe down, just drifting back a bit, but good warm-up jump, good setup. Landed straight on the right ski, good dig into the bottom. Really nice opening jump.
Yeah, he
might
can
be
make
farther
a lot
than
up
his
and overall with this jump, because he's at, I think, 60.9 from memory.
Yeah, first
round.
First round, I think that might be. Oh, no, may not.
He's capable
195.
of maybe 66 meters. I think from memory is his PB, so he can make up a bit here in overall. Martin Kolman on the dock there. He's the current leader in overall, of course.
Yeah, and has room to move up in the jump event. He's definitely capable. He's been jumping really good in the last couple of years. He's jumped really well down at Moomba this year in adverse conditions. So Martin's got the goods.
Absolutely. He's 40 overall points ahead of world record holder Adam Sedlmajer. So and that's going to come up in the next 15 minutes as those two guys jumping, so it's going to be huge. Here's Thibault Dailland now, jump number 2. 59.5 on his first. Looks like a good approach to me. Up he goes, misses his kick a little bit. Still, it's a little further. It should be over 60. I think it'll be 61. Maybe even close to 62 meters.
Yeah, I think he's a little conservative off the 6. When he's gliding, he's just conservative. He's hanging on the line. He's using the line as a crutch. He's just not committing to it. Needs to carry some speed if he wants to, move up that overall score.
61.3.
Yeah, moving up. That's his best jump so far at this tournament.
A little bit with his overall, not enough though, I don't think. He's currently he's 4th in overall at the moment, so to get on the podium he needs a bigger one. He needs a 64 or something like that, I think. Joel Poland sitting in 3rd in the overall. We'll get to see him jump shortly. In fact, it's all going to happen. That we've got Martin Kolman up next, Adam Sedlmajer after him, and Joel Poland after him. All 3 of those guys, along of course with Thibault, who's out there at the moment, are in the overall race. So .3. Current leader in this event, 61.3 from Thibault Dailland. That's what his score. Still Louis Duplan-Fribourg with 62.6. Only just ahead of Daniil Filchenko with 62.5. Here comes Thibault Dailland. Jump number 3. Can he get like a 64 or even a 65? Give him a real chance in the overall. Oh, he lets it go. Just passes that one up.
Oh, that's too bad. Looked like he got a better dig off the 2nd, off the 600-foot ball, getting a little more width on the boat. Definitely where he needed to be. Little freer on the line here, allowing him to get his skis around. Don't know why he just, take a look what happens here. Lands pretty good. Maybe just a little bit early. Brought a better turn and end up being too early. As soon as you let go of that rope, you're like, oh, man.
Just an update on the women's overall, Jarrett. We've been talking a lot about that. By our reckoning, Whitney McClintock will take the gold medal in women's overall.
Yeah, congratulations to
well
Whitney.
done.
That's really incredible. Back on the podium for quite a few years, and that's hats off to Canada and Whitney. That's incredible.
And I think you mentioned earlier, Hanna Straltsova has taken the silver in overall after the silver in jumps.
Yeah, a lot of moving around after the jump event. It just, there was a shuffle there for sure.
Brooke Baldwin, who didn't jump so well in the final of the jump that just had, she's dropped down to bronze, but she's got a bronze medal in overall. Congratulations. She has finished just 12 overall points ahead of Jacinta Carroll. So Jacinta Carroll, the Aussie, it's a shame for Jacinta, but she has missed out on the overall title by 12 overall points. And Regina Jaquess is going to finish 5th, the defending champion, and she's not all that far off either. She's 5 overall points behind Jacinta, so super close. But as I said, congratulations Whitney, who's taken out the gold in the women's overall. Martin Kolman now, he is currently leading the men's overall. So he's going into this last round of jump with 40-point lead over Adam Sedlmajer in overall. So he needs to try and go further, because then we know that Adam's going to try and go further for sure. So Martin Kolman up there, I think he went 61 in the elimination round. So overall's tight, jumps tight, everything's just coming down to the wire here at the 2019 World Champs.
Martin Kolman, check, 27 years old. Looking to try to claim gold medal at the event here.
Here he comes, good approach, plenty of speed, decent kick off the top. Yeah, just a shade off 60, I think. Close to 60. It'll be one of those 59.5, maybe 59.8 metre distances, I believe. You're just checking conditions a little bit there, Jarrett. What do you think's happening out there?
Yeah, it's still it's wrapping around, not direct headwind. It's kind of a little bit of cross head at the base, but down at the 6, it is funneling down through the channel here and being a headwind. Definitely the first jump for these guys. Most of them are taking a look, and it was a pretty decent setup for Martin on the first jump.
.1's the distance. Let's look at this jump here. Pretty phenomenal. The Czech Republic, the number 1 and 2 in overall at the moment of this tournament. Martin and Adam. It's pretty amazing for the Czech Republic coaching program, their junior development. She's only just on the corner there. I think he was checking his fins after this jump. I can see why.
Yeah, he looked pretty nice and comfortable in the turn. Turned and relaxed, probably tried to take it pretty easy. He was a little bit early, and then he tried to let the boat drop in, and by the time he got going, he realized, oh, I'm a little late here. He right on the corner, ended up being a little bit tight in the arms and just didn't get his legs. So maybe bring it down a little bit freer in the turn and try to relax.
Yep, here he comes now. This is jump number 2, Martin Kolman. Anything more than 61 helps his overall chances. Gets him further ahead. Into the ramp he goes. Big kick off the top.
Pretty decent.
Yeah, same sort of place, I think, around that 59. He looks tidy out there, but just not quite getting it together.
Good dig here, not right on the corner like he was before, but leaning on that outside shoulder, slipping a little bit on the ramp. Definitely not, I mean, he has the overall title, but if he wants to keep it, he might want to try to bring it down a bit, pull a little longer on the second side, and let it all hang out. Try to gain some ground on this next jump.
Yeah, anything helps, you know, anything more than 61 meters helps him. So, and it's so tight. He needs to try and get a bit more distance than his first round score. .8.1, so
yeah, Martin's a little bit off the pace today.
Yeah, well, their first 3 jumpers all jumped pretty well. In fact, Danilo and Thibault all jumped further than the elimination round. So far, though, Martin Kolman just struggling a little bit out there.
See if he brings it down at the 600 on the setup here, which is critical, nice and width. A little bit later, probably see how it goes.
All right, let's see if he can't increase his lead in the overall. Martin Kolman, into the ramp he comes. Big kick off the top, bit of an upper body crash, it's not enough. That's a bit of a disappointing jump set from Martin Kolman. He may still hang on and win the overall title, but he did have a chance out there to increase his lead, and he's failed to do so, Jarrett. So it's now up to the sledgehammer, Adam Sedlmajer, because he had 63 meters in the preliminary round. If he can get a 64 or 65, he probably takes the lead. I haven't got the exact mass in front of me, but he needs more. He knows that. He'll have it worked out, I'm sure. He's the world record holder, so it's all in front of him. Obviously, love to have a podium place and jump, but he's not really so worried about that right now. I'm sure he wants to try and snatch that overall win off Martin Kolman. Here he goes, Adam Sedlmajer, world record holder in overall, because that's a record you used to hold for a number of years, Jared, actually. Lots and lots of years until Adam took it off you.
Yeah, it's that's a long subject, but
No, I don't want to. I don't need to know about that right now, Jared. Sorry, I was just. You're an absolute legend, mate. You held this record for a long time.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Records are meant to be broken, and I was fortunate to have a few of them, and all these guys are awesome. You know, we can look back at Sammy Duvall and Patrice Martin and all different skiers, different age, different times in the centuries, and how the boats and the skis have changed, and all these athletes are absolutely incredible, and a joy to watch, joy to sit up here and commentate and be part of this.
Absolutely. Adam Sedlmajer, jump number 1. He's going to have 3 jumps to go further and try and wrestle this world overall title off Martin Kolman. Been such a great Worlds. I'm thinking back to some of the highlights, of course, earlier today. Joel Howley winning the men's slalom. That was a great effort. Patricia Font yesterday winning men's tricks. Great ladies slalom final yesterday as well, Madame Custard.
The wind has switched up a little bit here. It's kind of switched to a crosswind. It's not as ideal as it was for the ladies. See if it whips them up on the boat here, and that they can manage that. Good dig, but kind of almost like a line drive there.
Yeah, it'll be just a shade over 60, I think. He's out here to play. He certainly knows what he's got to do, and he's going to go for it.
Looking pretty good here. Nice and relaxed for the first jump.
Okay, it's 60 meters flat, so 60.0 meters. You're right, that wind is blowing a bit of a cross tail at the moment, which is not idyllic for these top jumpers.
Yeah, down at the 600 when you cut across, the wind's kind of behind them now, and that's going to whip them up on the boat and make them wide really early. So they're going to have to manage their speed really well coming into the turn. And you just can't, you know, you're in the finals at the World Championships. It's not a time to back off. So these guys need to be really committed. The guys that ride their skis really well are the guys that are going to be able to handle these conditions the best.
Absolutely. So still leading is Louis Duplan-Fribourg from France with 62.6. This is the jump event, of course, but we're also watching with one eye, keeping an eye on the overall scores. Martin Kolman leads this event. Adam Sedlmajer's in second, only by 40 overall points. He had 63 meters in preliminary round, so that's where he's getting his overall score and jump from. So anything more than 63 helps us score.
Adam's new father, well, kind of grown up now. He's not brand new, but he's a father. Beautiful wife sitting at home, probably watching with the Alex. Skis with Drew, Freddie, Karen.
Here we go, jump number 2, Adam Sedlmajer, into the ramp he goes. Big kick up the top, that looks like a good one to me. Oh, just that lack of headwind, I think, maybe. I thought that was going to be bigger than it actually ended up being, Jarrett.
Yeah, I think the wind's just not playing in favor for them, not getting that lift under the skis, not carrying them down the lake, and lots of speed, but just not getting that lift.
60.2. It's not happening at the moment for Adam Sedlmajer. One last jump to come. I think if he doesn't go bigger here, then it's more than likely that, of course, Martin Kolman's going to take the overall win. I guess we've still got Joel Poland coming up, so he could change that.
Pretty good setup here. Stands on his skis really good. Being a 3-event skier and a phenomenal trick skier, rides his skis so well. Driving through the base. Little upper body crush, a little stiff-legged. Probably not getting full lift out of that, but pretty decent setup. Maybe not bring it down on the 6, but maybe pull a little bit harder on the second side just to get up on the boat, be a little bit wider, and then stay down through the ramp.
Big moment coming up. Doesn't look likely at the moment that he's going to go further than 63, but
it's going to be a big call to try to improve on his preliminary score, but
he's had a bit of bad luck here with the wind, hasn't he? As it kicks up from to a tail cross position. Just a little choppy down this end. Here we go. Adam Sedlmajer, last roll of the dice for him at the 2019 World Champs. See if he can't get a bigger jump. Into the ramp he goes. Big speed off the top, big kick off the top. Another great jump. It will be
looks better.
It's better, but I don't know if it's going to increase on his overall score, of course, which is 63 meters. We'll wait for the distance.
Sixty-two, so not picking up the distance that he needed. So Martin's still hanging on to the overall crown.
Absolutely. So Joel Poland up next. He is currently sitting in third spot in overall. Let's watch this replay here, Jarrett.
Yeah, really good setup, but just not being able to generate the speed from a wide enough spot. Missing on the ramp, probably trying to push extra hard into the base, and with it chattering like that, sometimes you just miss your legs. Wasn't a full slip out, but
okay, Joel Poland now representing Great Britain, just a youngster, of course.
This kid's on fire. He just, the under-21s, he just skied off his head, and actually, I think he moved to second or on the world, maybe first on the world ranking list. So
okay.
Just incredible skiing at a young age.
He went 63.5 in the preliminary round. He it's hard. It's really hard for him now. Look, Martin Kolman's all but sewn up this overall race here. I think Joel Poland would need a sort of a 66-meter jump, I think, here, Jarrett, to take the overall title off Martin Kolman. So it's starting to look like that's the way it's headed towards Martin Kolman. And
pretty big ask in these conditions at the moment. To see Jacinta not go out there and improve and do the distances that she normally does, pretty much lends a hand to that it's going to be difficult for the boys to. They are going faster. They're hitting a bigger ramp, so everything is increased. The danger factor is, off the chart.
He's got the X factor, hasn't he, this young guy? I think he's got a big overall career ahead of him. He pulls out wide now. First jump of Joel Poland's set of 3, representing Great Britain. Tidy opening jump.
Yeah, beautiful, decent. Beautiful opening jump.
62, maybe even 63 on his opening jump. So that's good stuff from Joel Poland.
Good setup. Really good dig into the wake.
63.3. That's a great jump. 63.5 is what he did in the elimination.
Yeah, he did that pretty easy. There's lots left there. He could have stayed down through the ramp, just kind of stiff-legged it a little bit, and we might be wrong here. He's on fire.
Happy to be wrong. Get used to it. Looking at the team's title, United States, just maybe pulling ahead a little bit here. 8.226 versus 8.103 from Canada. And then France, who are finished, really they got no jumpers, no skiers left, 8.049. So I guess if Ryan Dodd jumps further and Taylor Garcia doesn't go any further, then Canada has a slight chance, but it's unlikely. I think USA may have this team's title. We'll keep an eye on that, though, from time to time. As we watch the men's jump final. Joel Poland, great opening jump, biggest opening jump by quite some margin, 63.3. Actually gives him the lead in this event. He's taking the lead ahead of Louis Duplan-Fribourg, who is, of course, on 62.5. Here he is, Joel Poland. Good strong pull out. Waits as long as he dares, makes his turn for the ramp. Into the ramp he goes. That's a big kick off the top.
That's big.
That is a nice
that is
jump.
Big.
Great jump. The fist goes up. Wow. Gets himself back into this overall race. Joel Poland.
So 63.5 in the prelims. I think he's going to be up over
I
that.
think that could be 64. We'll wait and see.
Really good setup here. Good pressure, driving through.
64.4, Jarrett. We have a new leader. That is a magnificent jump.
Good legs and still coming off the far side, so he's still a little bit early. Got room to move. Bring it down the lake.
So a new leader, 64.4. Not enough yet, though, to change the standings in men's overall. He's still in that bronze medal position.
Couple more meters here.
Yeah, exactly. Even a meter and a half might
helps
do it.
his overall, and it could be a spot on the podium.
Absolutely.
This is some really good jumping in these conditions.
We don't know what this wind's going to do, so, you know, 60. If you can get to 66, which I think would be a PB anyway, but if you can get that far, he would start to look at moving up towards even winning the overall maybe, or at least second in the overall, and of course be on the podium possibly in this jump event. Here we go. Third and final, 64.4 from Joel Poland. Pulls out wide. Of course, under 21 overall champion from 6 weeks ago in Canada. It's to be under control here. Into the ramp he goes. Another big jump. Maybe not quite as far, but still it's a good jump set from Joel Poland. Bunch of jumps pretty far.
Wow, just a really good set, really consistent. All three jumps, one after another. Really smart set. Good dig into the bottom. Still a little bit early, but a really big jump for being a little bit early. So, which is telling the guys on the dock that there's still some big jumps to be had out here.
62.8, 62.8 from Joel Poland, so 64.4 is his best. Leads the jump event at the moment. Now we get into what I would call the kind of the pro jumpers now, the guys that are generally jump specialists, or if they are overall skiers, then jump is definitely the best event. We've got Emil Ritter from Chile. He's leaving the dock. He'll be followed by Taylor Garcia from the USA, Jack Critchley from Great Britain, Felipe Miranda from Chile, Egor Morozov from Russia, and of course the Canadian Ryan Dodd. So we've got into the seasoned pros now. These are the sort of guys that, you know, if at US Masters or Moomba or one of the big pro events, these are the guys you'd expect to be going out there and having a crack for the podium.
Definitely, these guys are in the last 3-4 years have all been fighting for the top podium at every pro event around the world, and these guys are the ones that are going to change the pace in this game.
Absolutely. Shout out to Freddie Kruger if he's got up early this morning to watch this final. He's probably the only one missing actually from these last half a dozen guys of the top jumpers around the world. There's Zach Warden as well. I don't know what Zach, I see Zach skiing somewhere else this weekend. I think I saw on Facebook. So
yeah, missing Scotty and
guess.
Tom Asher. A couple guys in there
I
that
forget I said that then.
Could be in there, but
here we go. Emil Ritter now from Chile. He's got a best jump up close to 68 meters. Hangs out a lot with the Miranda brothers, of course. Grew up skiing together down there in Santiago, Chile. Jump number one. Good speed into the bottom. Decent kick off the top. Right around that 61, 62 meter mark to open, I'd say. Like a 200-foot jump. Yeah,
decent opener here. Nice and relaxed in the turn. Has a bit of a Egor and him have very similar. Lift their ski very early on the counter cut, lifting it before the wake. Standing a little tall at the base of the ramp and just kind of resisting that and not getting full extension, but just kind of taking a look and feeling out the conditions.
61.6 opening jump for Emil Ritter. 61.6 metres. Joel Poland still leads with a 64.4. The men's jump final, 2019 IWWF World Waterski Champs here in Putrajaya. Started here Tuesday morning, of course, with these world champs. Making our way through this magnificent event. Nordic towboat running well here. Wind seems to have died off just a little bit, I think, out there.
Yeah, a little bit. It's not as crossy, and it's definitely backed off a little bit. So some of the guys didn't have as good of conditions, and it's definitely getting better here.
So solid opening jump, 61.6 for Emil. He's going to look to build here. 202 feet.
Pretty much the same place off the 6. See how he lifts that ski really early. Nice little glide, sitting back a little bit. See if you can stay down through the bottom. Oh, nice lift, yeah.
It's a nice jump. Won't be as far as Joel Poland 64.4, but it's a good jump. 62.5 maybe. It's building nicely in this set. It's actually the same distance, 61.6, exactly the same distance as his first.
Yeah, just not carrying his speed through the turn. I think he's actually just said that to himself, that pull a little longer on the second side or else leave it the same and bring it down. But either way, he needs to take some more speed into the turn and commit to a little bit later cut if he wants to challenge Joel.
Absolutely. We see Taylor Garcia on the dock there. He's next out, focusing. USA's big hope in this final. There's no Freddie Kruger. Taylor left to carry the mantle for America, of course. Really excited about this. Getting down to the business end now. The men's jump final, Emil Ritter, 2 jumps of 61.6, as Jared just said. Needs to get into the course a little bit here. Get a bit later, turn with a bit more speed if he wants to go big, if he wants to take the lead off Joel Poland. Snow ploughing here.
Yeah, a little later. Brought it down just a touch. Get a good whip up on here. Get a little width on the boat. Try to turn before you run out of speed. Good hook up, dig hard. Oh, standing up at the base, just missing it.
There'll be no medal this year at the World Champs for Emil Ritter. He will have to wait another 2 years to pick up his first World's medal. Tried to bring it down, tried to turn a bit quicker and go later, but just stood up here, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, standing up. He was right on the corner and just too tight in the upper body, just kind of all loaded up and couldn't stay down through the ramp. And that usually ends up with a line drive and just not the lift that you're going to put the pressure on the boys on the dock.
Taylor Garcia, of course, the wonder kid as a junior. US boys 2 and 3 record holder, junior world jump champion at I think he was only 14 years of age, maybe 15 years of age in Moala in Australia. 2-time, of course, because 2-time junior world jump champion because he won again in Lima, Peru a couple of years later. It's an absolute superstar, of course, originally out of California, born in Los Angeles, California, skied a lot as a junior growing up in Southern California. but moved, I'm guessing probably when he was sort of around 14, 15 years of age, they moved to Lake Hancock in the Isles of Lake Hancock in Florida. Shout out to his dad, Steve Garcia, who's not here. He's working. Got a trial on somewhere, but I'm sure he's watching the webcast. Sure, he's got up early at home, wherever he is in the US, to watch this webcast. And Taylor Garcia, of course, first job to get more than 64.4 to get ahead of Joel Poland. He had a 63.9, and sorry, have I got that? Yep, 63.9 he had in the preliminary round. So he's going to need to find a bit more distance to get the lead off Joel Poland.
Actually, I believe he was, as a youngster, big into snow skiing, racer, and out in California, and he switched up to snow skis for a pair of water skis. So
yeah, he was on the US Junior Olympic team, so it's could have been a great downhill ski racer. Chose the warmer sport, I guess you'd have to say, water skiing. Here's Taylor Garcia, super talent out of the US. Concentrates as he makes his turn for the ramp. Good speed, just leaves that right ski behind a little bit on the ramp. Not really wanting it. He's looking at the boat, wondering if something felt not quite right. I don't know. We'll wait and see.
Nice edge out, just controlling his speed. Really nice touch in the turn here. Digs pretty hard, flares the wakes. A little bit of chatter, definitely leaning on the far shoulder. Just like you said, the right ski wasn't up underneath him. And he kind of gestured to the boat that like, where's the guts, where's the gas? And he kind of fell over, seems like, and maybe just beating the line out of the turn and just needs to wait on it, let the boat engage and relax.
Yeah, 57.2 opening jump for Taylor, 57.2 meters.
It's only 21 years of age. Growing up, skied a lot with Jay Bennett, skis with Scott Ellis.
Yeah, 227 feet. This is PP, which I'm going to say is just a shade over 69 meters. If I can try and convert feet to meters in my head. I think it's probably around 69.1, something like that, in meters. He will go 70 meters one day, I'm sure. He hasn't quite done it yet.
He's an incredible slalom skier as well. Doesn't spend a lot of time. He's a 3-event skier, but doesn't spend a lot of time on the trick ski. But just didn't have a good showing here in slalom. But he is a really, really good slalom skier.
Here he is, Taylor Garcia, jump number 2. Got it all going on here into jump ramp. That is a good jump, much better. Not sure what he's indicating. He's not happy about something out there, Jarrett. I'm not sure what the problem is, but that's further. That'll be over 60, but it's not going to be 64.4. The current lead, of course, still with Joel Poland in Great Britain. .62 meters, 62.0.
Yeah, watching his setup here, looks like he's got pretty good width, good speed. Has a bit of a Freddy Krueger style, flare in the wakes, right onto the right ski. Pretty decent on the ramp, stayed down through it, got some lift, just missing the zing off the top. He's gonna have to bring it down, get a little more width on the boat.
Straight away looks at the boat, not sure. The times are through. There was nothing, you know, we did have a problem a couple of days ago with the switch not working, but the switch was working there. So interesting, not sure. 62's okay though, he's improving, but he needs to come up with something bigger on this last one. Remember, Joel Poland, 64.4 is the lead from Joel Poland. Louis Freiberg was 62.6. Daniil Filchenko is on 62.5. Adam Sedlmajer is at 62. So now is Taylor Garcia. So Adam Sedlmajer and Taylor Garcia now tied for 4th. Obviously still 4 jumpers to come. Here he comes, Taylor Garcia. Jump number 3, last roll of the dice. Hasn't been a super good set from him so far. He's building, he's going further every jump though. Let's see, hopefully he gets it together here on this 3rd and final. Into the ramp he comes. Needs a big boot off here. He gets a great lift off the top. That's further, that will be the biggest of the set. He's a little disappointed with himself. It's not the big jump he was looking for, but it will be, could easily be 64, I think, Jarrett. Just have to wait and see.
Yeah, he's leaning out a little bit more here. He's got some width on the boat. Gets a little bit better swing. So he definitely brought it down.
64.
Pushing hard. Seems like he got stayed down through the ramp, getting his legs. But whatever's going on out there, it's happening for everybody, and everybody's skiing in basically the same conditions. So be interesting to go down and talk to him, see what's going on.
Yeah, disappointing stuff for Taylor. I'm sure he's disappointed. 64 is a good distance, but it's probably not going to get on the podium because he was bronze medalist in Paris, so he has been on the podium before in an Open Worlds. He was hoping for the same again. Up now, Jack Critchley, the Ginge out of Great Britain, because we talked a little bit about the great Brett Thurley, the carrot top from Australia, and his gold medal winning slalom performance back in 1993. I have a special spot in my heart for the guys with the red hair. They often get a bad rap in life, but Jack Critchley, he's a great young jumper, of course. Under 21 world champion in Ukraine 2 years ago, was it, I think? There's a personal best jump around that 69 metre mark. Jack Critchley out of Great Britain. Great Britain's leading at the moment, actually, of course. Joel Poland, 64.4.
Yeah, that's 64.4. That's a big jump out here today, and
could be on the podium. We'll have to wait and see.
Jack from Great Britain, strong team, showing very well here. Skiing against Joel, like to be on the podium together. Only 22 years of age.
Still a youngster, of course.
Had some huge distances just at a young age.
Absolutely. Here we go. Jack Critchley now, first jump. 64.5 will get him the lead. Nice controlled turn into the ramp.
Oh, geez.
Back on his heels. Big crush there.
Yeah, a little bit of a reserve set up there, kind of like a big 3/4 cut. Ran out of speed. You see his right arm is he's kind of hanging on the rope there. Little tight. Trying to go hard from a narrow position. Sometimes works for you, but he's digging super hard. Just too much pressure in the body and just squats out. Just a safety check there, but probably just wanting to get one under his belt.
Yeah. Well, he did, but probably not the one he was looking for there. 47.2, Jack Critchley out of Great Britain, the 22-year-old. Not the distance he wants. 64.4, Joel Poland leads this jump event. We still have, of course, on the start talk, Felipe Miranda from Chile, Egor Morozov from Russia, and Ryan Dodd from Canada. Getting down to towards the last 3 now. Well, 4 with Jack Critchley's out on the water.
Jack's pulling a 64.7 in the first round, so definitely capable. Has already done it out here. And the wind has picked up again. We're kind of back to the cross wind that wasn't very, very favorable for some of the athletes. So this is gonna see him stumble a little bit there at the pullout.
Yeah, that wind is, yeah, it's just got up a little bit from that tail cross. Not great news if it holds there. We need to turn back to the headwind. Jack Critchley now, second jump. Let's see how he goes into the ramp. Oh, no, Jack. Oh, that's a bad crash. He's gone out the back. He's landed right on his head. That is a hard way to fall, Jack Critchley. And he's not looking too good at the moment. He's landed upside down. It's one of the worst ways to go in, Jarrett, unfortunately. He'll be winded, I think. Hopefully that's all. These guys are pushing pretty hard out there at the moment. This is the world's final. We've got all the medical crew. These are professional surf lifesavers, guys, so they know exactly what they're doing out there. And he's in a bit of pain, Jarrett, unfortunately, as they get the stretcher ready. He's a tough guy though, Jack. Hopefully he's going to be okay.
Yeah, just staying in the water sometimes is the best. I had this experience a few years ago. It's just kind of relaxing there, and just everybody needs to settle down and just relax.
He's just grimacing out there though. Something's not right with Jack Critchley. Not what we wanted to see. Pushing hard, of course, pushing hard out there, trying for the glory of a world's jump medal. Okay, Jarrett, what happened here, mate?
Yeah, just sitting back a little bit. He's probably trying to push it as.
That's a painful one, really sore going in like that. Jack Critchley, heart goes out to him. I'm sure his family and friends are watching on the webcast. Struggling a bit there, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it looks like they just trying to leave the ski on. I don't think they have anything to cut it off with. Yeah, if it's hip or knee or whatever it is, moving that ski around, that thing is...
yeah, it's a big old wind sail, isn't it? Catching in the water and the wind, and every time it would be moving, it would be hurting a bit, so
yeah,
they'll try and cut the binding off, I'm sure. Oh, devastation. No one wants to see this. This is horrible, but it's part of the sport, unfortunately. We love seeing the big jumps, but every now and again, with the big jump, comes the big crashes, unfortunately.
Yeah, from here you can see the wind coming across at that angle.
Okay, folks, obviously we're going to have a bit of a delay here. We're just helping our injured athlete Jack Critchley out. Fortunately, he's had a crash on his opening jump, as you would have seen if you were watching the webcast or on site. As we Probably might just go to ads now, folks. It's going to take some time. I think they're going to have to get the ski off Jack and get him safely back to the dock. Then we're going to have to run the boat up and down a few times to get our wave pattern back. So I think we'll just take a quick break here and with a few words from our sponsor.
to Putrajaya, Malaysia this August to watch the world's best water skiers in action. Don't miss it.
Water skiers in the world compete at the 2019 World Water Ski Championships in Putrajaya, Malaysia.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Devastating scenes here from the start dock. Jack Critchley, who had a nasty crash. He landed out the back. Is in some sort of pain down there at the dock. We're not entirely sure what it is. We do know that we've cut off his, well, I haven't, but there's binding's been cut off, skis cap been removed, we've got an ambulance on its way. Seems a little bit reminiscent, unfortunately, of 4 years ago at the World Champs in Mexico with, of course, Jarrett Llewellyn's injury. So sad stuff for Britain's #1 jumper. As it's going to take a wee while here. I think we're going to extract Jack from the back of the rescue boat. We're just going to show you a quick replay. If you've missed it, don't really want to watch it, but I guess it gives you some sort of an idea of just what the sport is about. And it's a wonderful, high-impact sport, of course, jumping, but when things go wrong, they really do go wrong. You see he's pushing hard out there. He's trying to go as far as he can. He's trying to win a medal. You just watch when that right ski, the tip of that right ski, I think, as it impacts the water, is obviously wrenched something, and hopefully he's going to be okay, not as bad as it looks. But things at the moment not looking super flash for Jack Critchley. Meanwhile, actually 10 minutes ago, the conditions, the wind really got up and it wasn't very nice at all. It's just dropped off a little bit, but unfortunately we just got this wind is coming from the tail cross kind of direction, which is not really what you want to jump in. It's just going to change the whole thing right now. Joel Poland with a 64.4 is leading at the moment. We do have Jarrett Llewellyn down around the dock. We possibly are going to get him to talk to a couple of skiers, but it is obviously a very sensitive time right now. Emotions are running high, so we've got to be a little bit careful. We need to make sure obviously Jack gets the right medical attention and some space. I have got some news. I don't know if this is the right time to share this news, but this is very interesting in terms of the team scores. And remember when Whitney landed her jump and she threw the fist super high? And I wondered exactly why, because it was a 49.5 metre jump, I think. And I thought, geez, she's pretty excited about that jump. But I've just been handed some team results, and we've actually got Canada now ahead of the USA in the teams event by 2 overall points, which is nothing. 2 overall points is less than a quarter of a buoy. But of course, there's no more USA skiers to go. Obviously, Ryan Dodd left to go. Ryan Dodd can't change the overall result. Sorry, he can change the team's result. Of course, he's in the team, but he couldn't change the men's overall because he's not a men's overall, but he could change the team's result. So he can only push Canada ahead, I guess. So unofficially, that means that I've got Canada pipping the USA in the team's result. all very unofficial, but France, of course, will get third. There we go, Jack's on the stretcher, and we've got an ambulance waiting for him. Very good medical facilities here in Putrajaya, of course. We're in the best place possible with the government here, because all the heads of government of Malaysia live right here, so I'm sure we have everything that is needed to make sure that Jack is seen to. Very difficult now, because the next three competitors, Felipe Miranda, Egor Morozov and Ryan Dodd, they have got to somehow push that out of the back of their minds, or out of their minds, and get out there. They obviously just because Jack Critchley crashed doesn't mean that they will. They just have to trust in their training, trust in their mental abilities. Actually see the effect there of the windbreak that's here at Putrajaya, because it's pretty choppy on the other side of that windbreak, but not so bad, of course. On this side of the windbreak, that's one thing, that's the movement of the water, but of course the breeze as well. Once you get off the top of the ramp, if you've got a bit of a tail cross, it can be. I'm not thinking that's why Jack crashed though, the breeze. I had no idea why he crashed. That's Jarrett Llewellyn's job, he's the expert commentator. Okay, well, that's not what we wanted to see in this jump event at all. Jack Critchley, I'm sure, will get the best possible medical treatment. Our hosts here in Malaysia have been absolutely amazing. They're super friendly. They'll do everything they can to help Jack out through this process. Good news is the wind is starting to just die off a little bit. Things are calming off here a wee bit. Okay, now we are going to go soon to Jarrett Llewellyn on the dock. He's going to update us on the situation down there, maybe give us, talk to one of the skiers very shortly. We look forward to this. Here we go, Jarrett Llewellyn on the dock.
Yeah, a little difficult down here watching them take off Jack, but looks like his hip, it sounds like.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what's happened to him at the moment. Hopefully he's going to be okay. If it's just his hips dislocated, then we can get it back in as soon as possible. He should be all right, but we're hoping for him. Fingers crossed, he should be okay.
Yeah, conditions turned a little bit, not for the better. You had a really good jump set, pretty impressive out there in those conditions.
Yeah, I was fairly lucky. The wind for me was a bit of a crosshead, and then straight after me it pretty much switched around to a crosswind, so I was pretty lucky. I'm happy with it, but obviously not ideal for anyone else.
So you've been on fire. Just a really, really good season. Under 21 Worlds, just ripped it there, and coming right into this, staying right on focus, and possibly in a medal for overall.
Yeah, like I came into this year with the aim for under 21 Worlds to win that, and just kind of see how it went for Open, and just being on the podium is a great achievement for me at the moment, but of course I'm always wanting a little bit more, so see how it goes.
So how's the stomach been going the whole time? You've been training, like overall up and down. One event goes good, one event goes bad.
Yeah, I didn't have the ideal start to the tournament. Trick was down a little bit, and then slalom just straight up sucked. But jump was good. Jump was consistently good. That kind of got me to a nice place in my head. I wasn't freaking out too much. managed to bring back my trick score and get a good jump score for the finals. So I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, an incredible ski, and we'll see how it all. I'm not going to say anything right now, but congratulations on a great tournament and a great year.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm pretty happy with it.
All right, I'll try to grab Whitney here. Whitney.
I'll go grab her. Thank you.
Yeah, we're just having a little delay. I don't know if we're moving on to, we got some jumpers down here and they're running the boat up and down. I'm just going to grab Whitney, who is the new world overall champion. Congratulations, Whitney.
Thank you. It's been a crazy week and I'm really happy to come out on top.
Well, explain that, like crazy, like overall, like tell about the emotions that you've been going through, like what an overall skier goes through.
Well, it's been a whole season of emotions because we've actually had a couple overall tournaments this year, and I won one of them, Regina won one of them, and we're always neck and neck in slalom as well, and I was a little low this weekend in slalom. So that didn't start it off very well for me, and then I didn't trick as well as I wanted to, and though I made it through to the finals. So it was just a constant, like, okay, I made it through to the finals, but I didn't quite ski how I wanted to. It all came together today, and I was able to improve my scores and thankfully come out on top.
And it looks like your jump probably put the Canadian team a little ahead. It's so close. So Ryan's got a set coming up here, but that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, we're going to hold our breath for that one. It would be absolute icing on the cake to come out as world champions again for team. That would be so, so amazing. We'll see how the jumping ends up. It seems like the wind is turning better again, so we'll see how the jumping finishes up.
Well, congratulations, you're back on the podium. This is your, how many, 4 world titles?
5, I think.
5.
I don't know. I won 3 at the first one, then this is 5.
Yeah, 5. So congratulations, that's incredible. Back on the podium, you're always in the mix, always an enjoy to watch. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Back up to you, Glenn.
Okay, thanks very much, Jarrett. Thanks. Congratulations, Whitney, and of course, thanks to Joel Poland for that insight. We have Felipe Miranda on the dock, ready to go. And we'll be back shortly. I think Felipe Miranda's about to leave the dock. I will say we did, the conditions actually, while we had that break, blew up quite strong and didn't look very good. But since just in the last 5 minutes, thankfully, that wind has died off. It is still coming from that head-tail quadrant, but it has definitely improved a little bit here, which is great to see. We've got Pepe Miranda up next. 64.5 will get you on the podium in this men's jump final. So, yeah, Felipe Miranda, 2-time world overall champion, of course. Just chatting with the boat judge and boat driver. Personal best of 68.9 metres. He's actually taking his skis off, so not going just yet.
No.
Boat continues to do their dummy pass. For some reason, we thought we were starting again, but we've got another delay here. Oh, okay. So the reason is because the ambulance has taken Jack Critchley to obviously be checked out. It is a requirement at the Worlds that we have an ambulance on site, so we've just got the second ambulance coming. Not that we will need it. Those guys are wasting their time. The muzzle's gone home for the night. We won't be needing it anymore, but unless I have to climb these stairs one more time and pass out or something like that. Okay, so we have Felipe Miranda on the dock. He is waiting for the go-ahead, of course, from the boat. The boat will continue to drive up and down, just keep that wave pattern coming the same as the other skiers had it. So we have a 64.4 from Joel Poland, and we now have the top three seeds to come: Felipe Miranda, Egor Morozov, and Ryan Dodd. Early diagnosis of Jack is a possible dislocated hip. Okay, if the driver of the second ambulance that's turned up can hear me, if you could just go to the dock. Drive the ambulance to the dock? Drive your ambulance down to the dock. Not that we'll need it. Not that we'll need it, folks. I feel a bit bad saying that, to drive the ambulance down to the dock, but we won't need it. You're going to have a quiet afternoon, trust me. But we would like you, if you're, I think he's somewhere out in the car park. He might have been caught up, the ambulance driver might have thought, hey, the carnival looks quite good. We'll get into that. But he's probably a little bit lost. So he needs to head to the dock. The chief judge wants to see the ambulance there. It's pretty warm here. You know, there's a few older, bigger guys like myself might pass out from the heat and might need the ambulance, but there's no way in the world our skiers will need it, I'm sure. Jarrett, you've obviously been a world champion jumper and world record holder jump. A lot of pro tournaments over the years. How does this play for these last three guys? It's not nice, is it? But they are professional enough to push it to the back of their mind, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we all know the risks, and we all make mistakes, and hopefully they're not bad ones. Unfortunately, today we witnessed it, but the guys on the docks, just, you know, anytime you have a crash, you got to say, listen, I made a mistake, I get back at it. And these guys are all professionals. They know how to jump. They're going to focus on what it is the right thing to do, and they're going to go out and have a smart set. So everything's got to be back in place. You know, the pickup boat and the ambulance and things leave the site. Everything's just got to be back to normal so that we can get underway. And conditions have backed off a little bit. It's not quite as cross breeze, so
Okay, so just a notice to the ambulance driver that has arrived in the ambulance. He's parked up the ambulance and left the ambulance. We need him, please, to go back to the ambulance and just drive it down. I think he's gone parked in the car park or something. We need him down at the dock, please. So if the ambulance driver can hear me, please can you bring the ambulance down to the start dock? Of course, good idea. We've got a translator here because the driver won't speak English, so here we go.
Kepada pemandu ambulan, sila membawa ambulan ke starter dock.
Yeah, what she said, because good point. There's not much point in me telling the guy if he doesn't speak English, so thank you very much, Mr. Ambulance Driver. Appreciate your hard work. He thought I'll just park up here and maybe go to the carnival, I'm not sure. But we'll get him down to start dock, which will be great. All these delays, though, Jarrett, are actually helping us a little bit with conditions, I think, at the moment. If we want to be, I'm trying to be positive here, mate. I think it's getting a little better out there.
I think so. I think it's going to calm down a little bit. It's been up and down, so hopefully it'll swing around for these last few skiers and keep it safe. So the viewers at home, anybody on site, just make sure you get a chance to poke around the WorldWaterSkiers website. Today when you go to the site, the World Waterski Championships will be featured on the page, but in the next coming days, the next event will be featured. So if you want to watch all the videos or see all the scores and everything on the site, make sure you go to tournaments and go to the drop-down menu on tournaments and scroll down and find the World Championships. And when you open that, you will be able to look at everything that is associated to the event here today, and that would be all the videos that you can watch over the whole weekend. And please share it with all your friends and families. And also, when you have time, make sure you visit the shop or go to the foundation and read about everything that we are trying to do for the sport. And if you want to be involved in any way, bring your expertise or have suggestions on making the sport better, make sure you check that part out and just reach out to us and let us know how you can help. We need lots of help, but we need everybody involved for sure.
Absolutely. So we are coming up now to almost 4:30, 4:25 here in Malaysia. 3 jumpers to go. Really running a little bit behind time, but we're just got to make sure we get everything right for the skiers. Good time to mention, of course, our sponsors. We talked about WorldWaterSkiers bringing us the webcast, so thanks very much to them. IWWF, of course, brings us all these world events and works so hard for our sport. Nautic Boats, of course, the major sponsor of World Water Skiing. These sensational Nautic towboats and all the world events, of course, they're towing them all. Masterline, they're our tow rope of choice. Thanks for their support. Putrajaya City, of course, we had the president of the city.
He's a footy player, mate.
Yeah, exactly. He's a rugby player.
Yeah.
Flanker, he reckoned. He reckoned he was a flanker, but looked more like a hooker to me, if I'd or a halfback, I guess. But anyway, he was a flanker back in the day, I suppose. He's a good guy though, and they put a lot of time into this event and anything that's going on. It's great to see Malaysian tourism, and it really is a beautiful country. You need to get down to Malaysia and have a look around. It's sensational. Kimitarian, Bella and Sukan. Malaysian Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, Malaysian Waterski and Wakeboard Federation, Malaysian Convention and Exhibition Bureau, Pep Dana Putrajaya, Everly Putrajaya, where a lot of skiers are staying, the Zenith Putrajaya, where I'm staying. I know Jarrett's there as well. 5-star hotel, beautiful place to stay. Really had a comfortable stay. So I recommend the Zenith Putrajaya if you make your way to Malaysia. And the New Straits Times. New Straits Times is a local newspaper. Great coverage. Thanks very much. Thanks for all your support. We've got skis on now for Felipe Miranda. He's got his rope in his hand. He's starting to focus. We see those Goodman jump skis there, of course. Shout out to Ron Goodman if he's got up early in Washington State to watch this event. And Felipe Miranda, of course, two-time world overall champion, defending overall champion going to this event. He kind of fell out of the overall race early on with the tricks. He didn't quite trick as well as he'd like. But he's got an opportunity here to get a medal and jump. And I think if you had said to Pepe a week ago, you only need to jump 64.5 to get a medal at the World's jump, he probably would have taken that. I think Jared, he'd be thinking, okay, 64.5, I can do that. So he'll be reasonably happy. There has been a bit of other stuff going on, as we know, with the Jack Critchley's crash. The conditions haven't been super good at times. So, but still, here's his opportunity to get on the podium in the men's jump.
Yeah, for sure. Philippe is one of the best overall skiers in the world, and he's had an incredible run. And just this weekend, you know, that's the way overall rolls. It's just such a hard thing, and just the tricks fell off for him this weekend. But he's been jumping really strong, jumping on the pro circuit, had a really good showing at Mumba, and he'll come out here and bang some distances out here. He's probably one of the favorites to be on the podium, and a little redemption after the overall. He'll be digging deep.
Absolutely. From a wonderful water skiing family in South America, of course, Santiago, Chile. The Miranda family, they have a sensational water ski site. Hosted a bunch of world championships there, under 17s, under 21s, university and open worlds. Arguably, I think, the best water ski site in the world. It's magnificent down there. Great climate, particularly in summertime, obviously.
Yeah, they're doing a whole bunch of ski shows and junior kid programs, and they got a cable and lots of things going down in Chile. And the Miranda family are well known in the government and around the country, and it's really good for the country to be well exposed, getting exposure for water skiing down in South America.
Absolutely. So 64.4 with Joel Poland as the lead in the men's jump final. We've got Felipe Miranda out on the water now from Chile. We'll have Egor Morozov from Russia, and then Ryan Dodd. Right,
so we didn't want to talk about the, just going out after. It is a little hard. I mean, these guys need to focus. They're professionals, but just gearing up and watching that, it's difficult. I remember when I crashed in front of Tom Asher, and I actually ended up apologizing to him later. It's difficult, but Philippe's gonna dig deep here, feel it out here on the first one. Let's see how he goes.
Yeah, so he's a seasoned campaigner, been a pro jumper for many years, all around the world. Into the ramp he goes, big kick off the top, great opening jump. It's not quite what he needs to get on the podium, but it's still over 60. Gotta get my eye back in up here, but it's probably around 62 meters, I would say. Good, solid opening jump. The nerves, I think, now should be gone for Felipe. He can push on now and try and get, because he went pretty big, was it 65.4 by memory in preliminary round? 65.2 actually, so I'm sure he can do that again here today and get a bronze medal or a silver or a gold or whatever it ends up being. Waiting for the distance for Felipe Miranda on jump number 1. Here's the replay.
Yeah, holding back, you can see the right arm is a little bit tensed up, so he's not relaxed, not gaining a lot of speed, so he's sitting back a little bit, but probably a really good opener here. A little bit of chatter in the bottom. Could have stayed down through the ramp a little bit, but still getting his legs and a good opener.
62.5, 205 feet. Felipe Miranda, that puts him 4th equal at the moment with Daniil Filchenko. He won't want to worry about that. It's a sighter for him, really. I guess it feels out the conditions.
Yep, a little reserved on the start, but we expected that after everything that has gone on, and conditions are a little bit better, so hopefully it holds out.
Here he goes. Almost gets to the 600-foot pole. Good, strong pull out, up over his skis. Waiting there to make his turn. He's got some speed on this one. Does he get his lift? He does. Big jump from Felipe Miranda.
Oh, that's big.
Oh, that is huge.
Big.
That is a massive jump. He's going to be on the podium for sure. It could actually end up better than that.
Yeah, and I was really surprised. It didn't look like he was carrying speed in the turn, but got his skis around.
Booted that jump ramp. This is sensational.
Edging out nice, and you still see that arm a little bit tight, meaning that he's not gaining on the boat too much, but gets his skis around, lets everything run here. He's pretty relaxed. Go through the wakes pretty good. Good dig, and gets his legs. Really good jump.
65.6 meters. He's guaranteed on the podium now. Felipe Miranda, he'll get a medal. We'll have to wait and see what color it is. I think he can get a little more out here though, Jared. I think if he can maybe bring it down a fraction, get a bit more speed, because as you said, there's more left in the cut, but if he can get a bigger cut and get more lift, then I'm sure he can go further here. Well done though, 65.6.
And that makes the guys standing on the dock feel a little bit better. They're like, yeah, it's back to normal, and that's pretty much what you got to do is get it out of your head, good conditions, and Pipe has still room to move in there. I didn't think that he was going to go that far, and he just got a hold of it. So he's got room to move and push some pressure on these guys on the dock.
Here he goes. Just saw a great little moment on the dock between Ryan Dodd and Egor Morozov there. Ryan wishing his buddy the best of luck, geeing him up a little bit. Here we go, Felipe Miranda, 65.4. He's in the game at the moment. Needs another metre or so though to really put pressure, I think, on the great Ryan Dodd. See what he can come up with. Looks pretty solid at the moment. Passes it up. He'll take a 65.4. And just wait and see what happens with the next couple of jumpers.
Yeah, he did bring it down a little bit on the 6, but he's still hanging on the rope there, just sitting back, a little bit tense, kind of on his heels a little bit. Drop it in here. Just did not feel comfortable. Gets a good dig. Let go of it pretty early. But he's got a 65 under his belt, so 65.6 is a really respectable jump, but he's definitely going home with a medal today.
And he deserves it. He's been around quite some time, Felipe Miranda. It's a lot of time put into his skiing over the years, and it's great that he's finished up with a medal here at the 2019 IWWF World Waterski Champs. We've got the Russian now, Egor Morozov. Just getting the soap out of his bindings. Down there on the dock. 65.7 gets him the lead in this men's jump final.
And the preliminary rounds, he went 65.6, so,
right.
You know, probably not pushing it as hard. It's definitely adrenaline running here in the finals. These guys are going to hang it out more than they did in the prelims.
Looking at the conditions, looking at the ramp, just looking to see if anything's untoward with the conditions, getting his eye in, deciding where to cut from, deciding what to do.
Yeah, the wind's picked up just a touch. It's just still a crosswind, which means coming off the 600, it's going to push you a little bit, and it's going to whip you up on the boat a little bit harder. Guys might want to tone it down and just ride the line and make sure that they keep it tight in the turn.
Yeah, Egor Morozov from Russia. He's a rocket scientist, of course.
Yeah, not too many people know that, but
No.
he does
Wow.
have his engineering degree, and
He does.
Yeah,
There's a lot about him people don't know. He's quite secretive, actually, the big Russian, but just hanging out there, trying to get a little bit more, fighting against the wind a little bit. Big pull out here. Looking down the course. Makes his turn. Lets that one go. We'll look at the replay and see if we can figure out why he passed, but passed
Yeah.
number one jump.
pretty conservative. When he pulled out to the 600, he pulled out really, really early, misjudged the wind. Maybe he was just doing a little conservative cut, just kind of doing a big semi-3/4 cut here, even though he did the double, just taking a look at it and realized that he really didn't have the angle. and decided to pass up on it.
Yep, so still leading, of course, with 65.6 is Felipe Miranda. Second spot with 64.4 is Joel Poland. And then, of course, Taylor Garcia with 64 metres is in third at the moment. Egor Morozov from Moscow in Russia has passed on jump number 1. The Russian rocket scientist who's in and out of the US, or all around the world actually. Resides a lot now, of course, in Florida. Some pictures now from the dock. Of course, Ryan Dodd, the Canadian world record holder, he's last up. Just starting to prepare.
Just look at Igor's profile on World Waterskiers. Started skiing at age 4. Started competing at age 12. His dad was a big skier in Russia. Big influence there from the parents, from Moscow. Personal best 69.1.
Here he comes, Jarrett. Full double cut there. Maybe just a fraction later, not too much though. Looks like a better setup, I think. Into the ramp he goes. Big kick off the top. Misses his kick a little, doesn't he? It's going to be over 60, but just over 60, I think. But just didn't quite get it all together off the jump ramp. Doesn't look super. His body language does not look super good right now. He's not feeling it at the moment. He needs to find some way. He's got to dig deep here. Whether it's the the crash that's happened, whether he doesn't, the conditions or what's happening. He's got to dig deep here. He's got to push all that to one side and come up with something here on his third and final.
Yeah, definitely the cross tailwind, just pushing them at the 600 is making them feel a little bit uncomfortable, and he's kind of tentative on the counter cut, which is doesn't play well for the conditions and trying to drive through the base of the ramp. So he's going to need to. It's a little bit hard. You're a bit nervous about the conditions, but he's got to commit to them.
Absolutely. Got to find it deep down within himself some of that Russian fighting spirit here and get it all together on this third and final jump. Distance on that one, 62.7. I mean, still a great distance considering the way he had off. We didn't actually see the replay, but the ramp work wasn't great. But to get 62.7 off that, essentially a line drive almost, with not too much lift, that's an excellent jump. So certainly well within his grasp here. He pulls out down there towards the 180 metre buoy. So I think he might have brought this down just a metre or so. Strong pull out, lifts the ski across the wakes there. Here we go, last roll of the dice for Egor Morozov. He needs a big one. Banks up there, and that's not it. And he's off the podium. Joel Poland's going to end up with a medal here, Jarrett Llewellyn, because that won't be far enough for the Russian.
Nope, Joel's definitely taking home a medal.
And Felipe Miranda moves guaranteed to silver now as Pepe. Watch this third and final here for Egor.
Yeah, I believe Egor was pretty close to the corner here. Driving pretty hard. I think he gets peeled at the wakes a little bit. Gets pulled up right there, just no angle at the base. Almost takes the fin off. And just being a little bit narrow on the three-quarter cut and trying to cut it like it's a full cut with lots of speed, and he just generated so much pressure in his body that he just could not hold it.
Okay, here we go. Big moment now. Ryan Dodd, the obviously two-time world jump champion. See if he can't make it world title number 3. Ryan Dodd, because he won in Paris 2 years ago. He won at Mexico 4 years ago. Since then, of course, since his world championship win in Mexico, of course, he's gone on and set that magnificent new jump record, which is, was it 77, help me Jarrett, it's been a long few days, 77.6 metres, something like that, trying to remember, you know it in feet I guess.
A long ways.
It's a long ways, it's huge. Ryan Dodd did that of course on his home side in Palm Bay in Florida. And he is obviously the favourite here. Not quite as big a favourite as Jacinta Carroll is in the women's jump. He hasn't quite got the spread on the field. Obviously, Freddie Kruger not being here, that changes the picture a little bit. Freddie is probably the one guy that really gives Ryan Dodd a run for his money.
Yeah, Ryan just having a new baby girl. Just this year, he actually missed up on Moomba and stayed home and made sure he was there. And I'm sure Brianne's at home waving him on here and cheering.
Really strong pull out there. He's pulling out into the breeze and the chop, so he made sure of it.
Yeah, a little more aggressive cut here. Definitely got the skis around at the 6.
Here comes Ryan Dodd, the farm boy from Canada. Jump number 1 into the ramp. He goes, big kick up the top. And he might have won it on jump 1. I'm not entirely sure, Jarrett. I don't know. It'll be pretty close. We had a 65.6, of course, from Felipe Miranda, leads this event. This is a solid opening jump, Jarrett.
Yeah, pretty much only 3rd gear for Ryan. He's got a couple more gears and just a nice setup here. Just gliding, not too late for him. Totally relaxed in the turn. Goes through the ramp, just staying down. Ryan's as strong as Jacinta, just so powerful off the top of the ramp.
How far is that? How far is that, Malaysia? 65? 65.0 gives him the silver medal at the moment. 2 more jumps to come. Needs another 0.7 of a metre to get ahead of Felipe Miranda. We know now, well, the only thing we know is Joel Poland's going to get a bronze. We don't know who's getting silver or gold. So more to do here for Ryan Dodd. Actually a picture of our translator there, young lady that came up and found the ambulance driver for me. Great to see. Obviously got a family here watching the water skiing. The kids looking for the big screen. Mum's like, hey, look, you're on a screen, and they're looking everywhere, can't see it. Anyway, that's not that funny. Back on the water now. Conditions not super good right now. In fact, it's probably as bad as they've been right now. It happened yesterday for Jacinta. It's going to happen again for Ryan, I think. The top skier is going to get the worst of the skiers. The conditions, sorry. He's bouncing around a bit out there, but this is a big moment, folks. Ryan Dodd, he wants to get it done on this jump, I'm sure. Looks to be slightly later. Sorry, Jarrett. He pulls out strong. He's waiting now. He waits as long as he dares. Makes his turn for the ramp. He's got plenty of speed. Can he get his legs? He kicks this one. Is it enough? I think it is. I'm going to call it. I think he's just won the little half fist pump. I'm going to say that's going to be a 67-ish metre jump. That's where I'm going to go. We will have a replay. We'll wait for the distance. Big moment in this World Champs. I think Ryan Dodd has just won the gold medal. We'll wait for the distance. Pepe Miranda will get the silver. He's happy. The fist is pumping. He's seen the distance, actually. He is wrapped. He has seen this distance, and we don't know it yet, Jarrett. We're the last to know on site, but he is super happy. 67.9 metres.
There you go.
Hey, look at how happy he is. As he says he'll go home, he'll take the win. Gold medal number 3 in the World Champs for Jarrett, for Ryan Dodd. And Jarrett Llewellyn, have a look at this one.
Yeah, it turned a bit at the same place at the 600, but a little bit better countercut. Just wanted to glide a little bit more, take a little more heat into the turn, driving hard. He didn't want to change too much as he was 65, and just changing just a little bit up, he gets 67.9 and takes the gold. That's incredible.
And he is super pumped. It's great to see. 67.9 metres in less than perfect conditions, but he got the job done. Getting a bit of a hug down there from Canadian team members. And super pumped. We can see Jarrett Llewellyn's going to go down there and they're going to have a big Canadian hug, I'm sure, on the dock. But more importantly, he's going to give us a couple of interviews, hopefully. Sensational win for Ryan Dodd. Congratulations to him. Felipe Miranda, deserved silver medal here. Egor Morozov, unfortunately, will miss out on a medal. I see him there on the dock. But Joel Poland, that up-and-coming British skier, is going to pick up a bronze medal in the jump event. Congratulations. I believe Martin Kolman will take out the overall ahead of Adam Sedlmajer, and I think Joel Poland will get another bronze, so 2 bronzes for Joel Poland. Wonderful World Championships. Thanks very much to organisers. We will get some interviews. We're not signing off just yet. We've got some interviews coming from Jarrett Llewellyn. As we watch Ryan Dodd congratulate with his good friend Egor Morozov. And that's exciting. Really good effort under pressure in less than perfect conditions. He has taken the gold medal. Congratulations, Ryan Dodd. Shouldn't be too long and we will have, the Canadians are extra happy because I got a feeling they've won the team's title as well, so congratulations to them. Jarrett Llewellyn is making his way down to the dock to talk with Ryan Dodd.
Test. Down here. Down here with Ryan. Am I on?
Okay, Jarrett Llewellyn down on the dock. He's with Ryan Dodd. Let's see what the great man has to say.
Yeah, just down here with Ryan. Everybody's congratulating him.
Thanks for the support. Appreciate it.
Congratulations, number 3.
Oh man. Yeah, it's like you want it so bad and you try not to think about it. But this year has been crazy. Like, I've had a lot of setbacks with my body, and I've seriously never put more work into it than this. And you know, win or lose, I went for it, and I'm stoked.
Thanks very much, Jarrett Llewellyn, and congratulations to Ryan. That's a wrap as we look at a very happy Canadian team. Oh, Jarrett's got another interview. We're down on the dock there. We are watching a very happy Canadian team, of course. Jarrett hopefully will find another interview. So it's 10 to 5 here. We have finished skiing. Thanks very much. We might get another interview, but thanks very much to all the officials, of course, all our sponsors, the organisers, Malaysians. I think have done a wonderful job with these World Championships. Congratulations to them. And conditions were up and down. They did get up a little bit there for Ryan, but there's been plenty of good conditions here for skiing this last 6 days over the last wee while, of course. Some great scores. I think slalom scores ended up being a heck of a lot higher than predicted. We had a magnificent couple of slalom finals. And are we going to have Jarrett Llewellyn on? I'm just talking to my producer here. Jarrett Llewellyn's got another interview. We'll talk to him. As I said, thanks to the sponsors. Banquet tonight, obviously, so the skiers will party, and everyone will hopefully have a safe trip home, back to wherever they're from.
Glenn, I got Martin down here on the dock. Incredible. Congratulations, world overall champion, first time. Tell us about the roller coaster ride. I mean, it was really tight. It's incredible how many guys are actually fighting for the overall title. Really good to see. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, everybody skied great this weekend and, you know, came out on top. Started with tricks on Thursday, and I had a good run, missed my last trick, and then it just kept going. I didn't think about the overall until Friday night when, with the conditions up and down, it was just so tough anybody could come out on top. I'm happy I came out on top. So.
Yeah, you've been skiing for many years, and your overall is right there, running around, working for good. You're coaching other guys. Hard to focus on all your skiing when you're doing all that stuff.
Yes, but sometimes it's better if you don't focus too much. 2 years ago in Paris, I thought I will have a good shot at it. It didn't happen, so this time I had a little different approach to it, and it worked out.
Well, congratulations, you're world overall champion. Have fun tonight, sleep well, and enjoy it.
Thank you so much.
Well, thanks everybody. Back up to you, Glenn. Been an incredible journey and a ride. Thanks for everybody for such a great competition.
Thanks very much, Jarrett, and good to get the insight. Martin Kolman, congratulations. It's the toughest thing in our sport to win is overall, of course, and he's the men's overall world champion. Congratulations. Congratulations to all our winners. Thanks very much to the organisers, of course. Wonderful job. Malaysians have been superb hosts. All of our sponsors, Greg Malone and his team from Nautique, of course. Big shout out to the Young family, of course, Hannah and his daughter Philippa, wife Nosy. All the family working hard to bring us these sensational World Championships. We also take this opportunity, thanks very much to the guys from WorldWaterSkiers, of course, for bringing us this webcast. Wonderful sponsorship, and I'm sure everyone in the world has enjoyed the coverage. So that's us signing off from Putrajaya, wherever you may be. Good morning, good night, good afternoon. We will see you at the next big tournament. Stay safe, folks. This is it from Putrajaya.
Putrajaya, Malaysia this August to watch the world's best water skiers in action. Don't miss it.
Watch the best water skiers in the world compete at the 2019 World Waterski Championships in Putrajaya, Malaysia.
is beautiful.